You got it.
Since I volunteered to go first a lot of times.
You volunteered to go first, then you will go last. And there's some prophetic from first, then shall ye be last something. I ain't got nothing right now. Kingmaker.
You chose poorly.
No, I did. I might have, but the time has cometh for more of that Kingmaker. More of the game that, like, the more and more we play this one, the more and more my patrons go watch my other patrons play this one, the more and more this group is setting the bar for what my patrons want from games. So the 5 of you, thank you for your support on Patreon and for setting the bar off the floor, basically. It has been good. And all the supporters on Patreon for that C+ content that we put out. I'm just going to get that in character reflection. Screw this. We need hero points. I'm talking myself into a hole. I was up pretty late last night. It's my turn to be groggy. Bam! It can't be Kato, so first it'll be Senya for the who are ya, what are ya in character reflection.
Alrighty. I am Senya, a Kelid human barbarian, a Gemini invoker. And this level is a major update to what I can do, so I'd like to start. You just gotta start and see where it takes you. Oslog's voice reminded her as Senya focused on the target she set up earlier in the thicket. It was midnight and the spring thaw barely started. The ground would freeze back over again in the cooler. Senya concentrated on the target more as she whispered, "Salvig, grant me your eyes." The darkness around her wasn't so dark anymore, and she could see the trees more clearly now, and the red paint on the wooden target was more vivid now. She let her arrow loose, and it struck the center with a satisfying thwack. She let out a small triumphant yelp and hopped with joy at having mastered her newfound skills before retrieving her arrow. It took all winter of practice in the woods, and it was fitting that this milestone was reached at the start of the season of renewal. She left a small prayer of thanks with Erastil at his shrine before she mounted Grom and went on her way back home at Staggrave Fort.
And suddenly the archer has dark vision. Fair enough. What mechanically has now happened to you?
I now can cast totems. Totems. I'm basically a walking Swiss Army knife, and I can conjure up any totem power that is of lesser.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so unlike normal barbarians who can pick up like a totem rage power and then are like kind of locked into that progression path, Geminid invokers are forbidden from picking up totem powers. However, at certain level milestones, every time they enter their rage, their version of rage, they get to choose a totem power for that particular rage that they automatically know.
Damn, that's really good, actually. Today I'm Draconic, tomorrow I'm Celestial.
Yeah, she can pick Celestial, Fiend. Right now she's limited only to Lesser, but as she progresses through her Geminid Invoker levels, she will eventually be able to pick up the standard ones and then the greater ones, like near the end.
Eventually she can fly, eventually she can pounce. Good lord, that's fair enough. Take that hero point. Yes?
Yeah, thank you. And all of my totems, I kind of gave them a flavor name, so they all kind of have.
They're her ancestors, so she calls upon a particular ancestor during that trance, and that's why she has that power.
Geez, what are you guys, a stellar RP group that's reminding me how D&D works and setting the bar for the rest of my patrons or something?
Is one of your ancestors named Gertrude?
Senya is not the son of a shepherd, unfortunately. Or am I making
totems, Tibor?
Totems.
Is it a druid or something?
Kind of.
In any case, take that hero point, and Kato can't go next. He's going last because he said so. So we'll get the people who've written out the big role play out of the way first as we swing it over to Ionia.
Whew. Got a big one this time.
Oh boy.
So I'm playing Ionia Essel, a mostly human occultist. This is a pretty big level for me as well, so guess I'll just get into it. The room is dim, illuminated only by the faint glow of smoldering charcoal in the bottom of a hanging censer. A warm, earthy scented smoke forms ribbons that dance through the room, wrapping around Ionia's body. The soft squeak of metal scraping against metal fills the otherwise silent room as the lower half of the sensor is delicately removed. A gentle pale fingertip disturbs the layer of ash that has accumulated in the metallic basin before being removed to trace a sigil over the floor with careful precision. She kneels before the altar she had crafted into a nook in her room. Despite the dim light, she can clearly make out the intricate details of the large tree that's been carved into the walls. She had spent many hours meditating and praying to Zonoth and Kryn. Her ancestors had rewarded her by allowing the girl to tap into her orc bloodline, gifting her the occasional ability to see in darker environments. With focus, the skill had become almost second nature. She bows, offering her reverence to those who came before her. Swoosh! Her chamber door swings open, shaking her from her rumination. Minoru comes bounding in, carrying a limp black figure hiding beneath his jowls. Ionia releases an agitated sigh, shaking her head in an attempt to clear the disruption from her mind. The dog whines. Not now, Minoru, she responds staunchly. Unaffected by the girl's dismissal, the lumbering beast pushes his way past her, dropping the back carcass clumsily in the middle of the sigil. Ionia watches in amazed bewilderment as a colorful aura traces over the sigil. The aura fades before reappearing at the base of the tree. It scales the trunk and follows one of the branches until eventually it creates a new branch. Everything goes black. We see a man standing in a window. He wears long silken red robes with golden filigree of a dragon and a domed hat with a flat top. Strings of red and gold beads hang from the man's cap. He strokes his thin black beard as he looks sternly at the buildings below. No one steals from Ji Hao Yung Sun, the man snaps. Piran, find the thief. A golden pseudo-dragon appears briefly over the man's shoulder before darting out the window. Blackness again. When vision is regained this time, we see a familiar stone hall. We pass by several doors before turning sharply to the left, then right, through the entry hall and out the main doors. We pause for a moment. The moonlight reflects off the falling snow as we look over the fledgling town. Suddenly, the vision darts toward a building. We hear the steady creaking of a swinging sign as the wind gently pushes it to and fro. A window is open, just slightly, and in an instant we are inside. The crackling of a fire permeates the room as we see a large boar head mounted over the hearth. The vision shifts. A portly man is seen locking a chest. He turns toward a nearby table and removes a crossbow. He loads a bolt and hides the weapon under the counter. The man then walks to the door, opening it, and we zip out, making our way back to the castle door. Before we reach the entrance, the vision stops and scans to the right. In the distance, we see a tall figure in black vestments. The imposing figure stands motionless, the gold trim of his robes glistening as they sway with the currents of the wind. The scene shifts once more as we see curtains swaying out the open window of the second story of the castle. In an instant, we are back in the dim, smoke-filled room, and we see a young woman, black curls falling over her face. 2 small tusks protrude from her bottom lip as her jaw hangs slightly open. Her eyes are blank, white. She gasps as her irises return to their natural brown and her senses are restored to her own body. That's it.
That's it. That's all you get. I'm sorry. We have no more for you. Good enough. Hero point is yours. Oboski. The dice say we need more from you. I'm so sorry.
Go again, Ionia.
Go again.
I'm sure you have another.
Okay.
I'm Ionia, mostly human.
Part 2.
Here's some scan stuff. Actually,
Chapter 2.
now we get to hear
Book
more about
1.
Kalyra, about what she's been doing over the past cold winter. I need to change your token in... I changed it everywhere but OBS. I'm going to change that in OBS right quick.
Yeah.
Might be.
I'm Kalyra Ashling, and I am a barbarian of the superstitious type. And over the winter, I kind of faded in the background. Kalyra doesn't really get the whole city building thing. I mean, it all seems very complicated. So she's a simple girl. So she goes for simple things, and it's nothing more simple than enforcing the peace. It's a task that she is uniquely suited for, and it's something that she has quite a bit of experience. You know, she's no city god. She can't be bribed or anything like that. You know, but she does know how to. She does know how to make people do what she wants, and and she's quite effective at it. So she's parlayed that in the best of abilities, and while the rest of the party has spent most of the time in the town, she has ventured off quite a bit, slipped away on her own, um, uh, under the guise of wanting to take a dip in the old hot spring, but she's also has other machinations in order, and she really needs that. She really needs that rare animal breeder. That's it.
Good enough. All right, Kato wanted to go last, so it means it's on the tax man.
Oh, what can I say about Arcturus, really? So many things and
Got a
nothing.
mask.
That hasn't already been said.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Arcturus, or playing Arcturus. I'm not Arcturus. Again, I guess I'm not
Yes, you
quite
are.
in character yet. Well, easy. Maybe like 75%.
Mm-hmm.
Just add the magic.
I'm playing an Inquisitor of Abadar, doing spell things, tactics, Inquisition, all that stuff. Same as before. Really, the only thing of note, I would say, I'm still trying to decide how I want to handle it, though. Because what I did do, so at every 5th level, or well, starting at the 5th level and every 3 after that, Inquisitors can replace a spell. And I've replaced barbed chains.
What?
Kind of for it's for RP reasons, and I'm debating whether I want to do that in text, like act it out in text form, or include Kalyra in the RP. But suffice it to say, the encounter a couple sessions ago in the tomb made me rethink that ability.
Damn it, T-Borg.
That's such a
So-
cool skill.
Privately, Arcturus has done that again, and influenced by that encounter. But I am sort of reserving more detail on that decision for future text RP. So,
Okay.
there it is.
Oh, there it is. Good enough. Take the hero point. Kato, take us home. If Kalyra could throw Kalyra's token in the Discord somewhere really quickly. I'm trying to find it so I can download it again and jam it on OBS.
All right. So it is I, Cato Sicarius, the great noble from House Sicarius, son of Saul Sicarius, heir to the Sicarius name. If you can't already tell, I love to say my own name, Sicarius. All right.
There you go, Sven. If you've watched this far ahead, there he did it.
There, I did it just for him, so he can stop bugging me on Discord about it. Yes, I do get messages from him on Discord, like, when are you going to do the meme?
He's just trying to make friends.
I know. Okay. So Cato has been spending the long winter... Oh, wait, I guess I'll go into details first, my long list of his classes. So Cato is now a level 5, as we all gained a level last session. He is a level 3 swashbuckler, the Rosalind Bravo archetype, a level 1 monk with the Master of Many Styles archetype, and a level 1 fighter with the Weapon Master archetype, with a chosen weapon proficiency of Aldori dueling swords. So Cato has been training relentlessly over the winter. There's some text RP that was posted up about it. However, being at level 5, he now has unlocked a number of additional cool FOP abilities, as you guys tend to call them, to use as FOP points for. So you'll be seeing he is faster, stronger, and more deadly than he has ever been in previous levels. So this is really exciting. Can't wait to test out some of this newfound power. With that said, he also commissioned Oleg to find him a plume of panache, because as he's going to need to be spending more panache to use some of these abilities to their fullest extent. He's going to need more resources to do so. So that is now a thing. Where Cato left off was in mid-training session with Bakken, who surprised him, so to speak, at the very end of their the very end of their session. What started off as a kind of a standard duel of blades, Kato now finds himself staring down what I can only, I guess, describe as like a bestial creature. I don't know, Tommy. If you want to give a greater description of what Kato's looking at right now.
Bakken looks pretty much exactly like a direwolf. Like he drank a potion and started shaking out, and then is a direwolf.
Yeah. So Kato was kind of taken aback by that, and so we'll see how he. I figured instead of continuing that on text RP, that would probably, since there's going to probably be a little more back and forth, and the session was only a few days away, we would jump into that as part of the game session, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, sure, fair enough. Heck is that hero point then, and I guess that's where we'll pick it up. Is we don't necessarily have to roll for initiative, but Bakken has. Oh, what was the exact line? How will our grand and most shiny noble Lord Kato fare against something that is both intelligent and bigger than him? And I know Achilles. And potion down and fur starts sprouting, and he goes on all fours and polymorphs into a direwolf.
Ugh.
He seems to be in crane stance, but like as a quadruped would do it. He lacks both the sword and the hands.
He went from being much smaller than Kato, to being much larger now.
Indeed.
I take it.
Yeah.
Direwolves are huge, right?
They're you fought direwolves at that one encounter, about the size of a horse.
With horse-sized wolves. Okay, cool. And I was the last to go, so I guess we. All right. My Bakken, what have you done?
He just growls.
Kato takes a cautious step backwards, raising his sword upward. This isn't fun and games anymore, is it?
The wolf cocks its head.
So his sword is gone now. He's just a big wolf.
Yeah, he is. Kato probably hasn't seen anything like this, but yeah, he has drank a potion and now is no longer a goblin. He's carrying himself like he still has intelligence. Like you say something and he cocks his head and kind of like half bark, half snarls, and then goes back into stance. He clearly can understand you.
Kato is just going to hold a defensive, a total defense stance as he sort of eyes him up and down, trying to get an idea of what's going to happen next.
Okay. The wolf approaches you. It probably feels not unlike the encounter out in the wild when the dire wolves come swarming around you. And he would like to attack you.
All right. I'm in total defense, so I can't parry, but
okay.
I have a +4 to AC.
Gotcha. So magic is fun. It'd be about like that, I think. Yeah, probably more like that. Bam! 30 to hit?
Nope. Not
okay.
quite.
Damn.
Not with total defense. That's why I didn't want total defense, because look, I need all the help I can get right now.
Fair enough. So the Bakken wolf comes forward, tries to bite. You're able to like pirouette out of the way.
Oh man, that was only on a 13 roll too. This is gonna be scary.
Bakken takes a couple steps back and just looks at you.
All right, if this is what you want, friend, I'll try not to hurt you too bad. I will drop that stance and make a retaliation attack here.
Bakken would like to parry.
Oh, okay.
Nevertheless.
Gotcha.
Got him.
Barely. All right, damage. Now I have new damage, so. Ignore there wasn't a crit, so 11 slashing and 3 precision from my new
from precise strike.
Precise strike.
Gotcha. So Bakken comes forward, or you come forward, and Bakken tries to deflect your sword with his canines. And rather than like get it with the teeth, he misses it by like 6 inches, and so the sword runs like up the gum line and then down Bakken's new muzzle. It kind of looks like a smile as he steps back, the blood drops, and then he would like to attack you.
I will attempt to parry that one.
Alrighty. So then a 26 to confirm.
For 1. Yeah, that'll confirm. Rip.
Alrighty. He's taking a little bit of penalties, so the damage is non-lethal. But that would be doubled. Right? That's the right math. Yeah, that's the right math. So then I will double it. It's going to look enormous. That's what she said.
That was the end of the duel.
44 points of damage, and then it'd be a little higher because he's bigger. And then a 30 over your CMD to try to trip you.
All right. Well, he didn't quite knock me out in one hit, but very close. All right, CMD is 20, so yeah, tripped.
So Bakken comes forward, and you try to knock the blade out of the way, but his mouth is as big as your like body, or like torso, I guess I should say, and comes down. You can feel when the teeth connect with flesh. There's something is preventing a pierce from happening. The teeth can't go into you, but the pressure is still there, and then he like yanks back. And that's what then puts Kato on the ground, and Bakken puts one paw on Kato's shoulder, looks down, cocks his head.
Kato's just, oh, uncle.
Bakken steps back, he closes his eyes. There's probably like 5 seconds or so pass of the wolf form concentrating, and then the spell expires, and Bakken in all of his gear and his sword appears as a goblin. Just not bad. That there's still a little bit of a scar running, like as if Bakken had cut himself shaving. He withdraws like a little like kerchief and like dabs the blood.
What kind of potion was that? Kato's like coughing, and as he's trying to right himself to his feet, but he's clearly struggling to bring himself up.
Let's just say one thing I've learned since I moved to the Stolen Lands is sometimes you need to hedge your bets. Sometimes it helps if there's 4 or 5 of you. Sometimes it helps if they can't see you. Sometimes it helps if you can turn into something that's a little bigger and a little more frightening than, and he smiles his big goblin smile, any of this here. Today's lesson: expect your foes to do the unexpected. Expect your foes to have these kinds of tricks, and expect the sword to only get you so far. Bakken taps an amulet that's hanging around his neck, and there's like a faint bluish, whitish glow coming off from it. I'm not going to actually cause you harm. If I wanted to, he removes the amulet ceases to glow. He puts the amulet back on, it glows again. Certainly I could. Out there, it's a different story. Out there, people will seek to get behind you, people will seek to take and he taps his own sword. Actually, no, he doesn't. He draws his sword. And you can see there's like a hairline, I won't say a hairline fracture, but as if it had been broken in half, like running just above the hilt. They will seek to destroy these. They will seek to take our advantage away. And there are many creatures out there that can do it pretty effortlessly. I won't tell you how to live your life. I won't tell you what to get out of it, what you're looking for, anything like that. But today's lesson is honor is important, but hedge your bets. And with that, Bakken like does a quick little bow and starts heading back for his house down in, I think we're calling the town Rooston, got it.
Like a roost, like a bird's roost.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah. Kato just coughs and clutches his arm where the teeth came down, and he's like, I need to put some I need to have this look. It's not like it's not torn open or anything, but it's definitely sore, and so he's going to limp back to the castle and get it treated.
Okay. Anybody in the party? There are probably a lot of like commoners that saw this happen. Anybody in the party who wanted to see it, they definitely, unless Kato says otherwise, they're sparring in the open.
We sparred every day. This
Every
was almost like a final exam where he's like, all right, you think you've gotten pretty good? Let me show you how much you still have to learn. All right, thanks, Tommy.
You're welcome.
I figured that'd be more enjoyable to do through the game system instead of just text RP.
Yeah, because the thing about your RP is your RP has a mechanical half to it. You are actively fighting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, squad.
I don't know if did you want me to see if I could see if I could find bandits?
Yeah,
to,
sure.
Be my merry man. When I have to roll for that.
Oh god.
What we'll say is you definitely find bandits if you want to make an intimidate check to come back with 4,000 gold in that build point that we got last session, and no one asked questions. That's the failure. The success is 4,000 gold and merry men. Yes, indeed. What a wonderful term for the ne'er-do-wells who you've brought home.
Yeah, we didn't want to know. Tibor came home with like a sack of gold, and he's like, "Yeah, here we go," and we just kind of like turned our heads away and said, "Okay."
It's 24 against everyone except for Kato.
As small retcon, he comes back with a bunch of gold and 4. I don't have exact races picked out, but I don't necessarily be like 4 humans, 4 humanoid. By their dress, they've probably been living out in the woods for a while. You'd probably at least assume in the Stolen Lands, bandits, folks on the run from the law, things of that nature. And they follow basically everywhere Kalyra steps. Kalyra turns and looks back at them, and they start shaking at the knees a little.
I'm sorry, where are these people?
When Kalyra returns, they return with her.
She's out there recruiting bandits to be her little crew. She's creating a little, like a gang.
You notice that Kalyra has taken a hat that looks kind of like her favorite animal. She's put it on her head. She's calling herself that kind of animal lord now.
What's the animal?
That animal lord.
The kitten lord!
Is Tibor a cat person?
No.
No.
I meant like in real life.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
No way.
No way. All right, well, so you show up with a bunch of miscreants, thugs, and bandits as you come through the gate. That's that what we're saying?
That's right.
All
Is
right.
our jail done yet?
Yeah, exactly. Kato will meet Cal at the gate and gesture off to, and who exactly are your new guests?
I guess we could probably also say that since we kind of dropped the RP on this one too, if Ionia wanted this to happen when Ionia was with Cal, it certainly could. Same is true for if like Dak is probably there one way or the other. Yeah.
Wait, what?
If like we didn't finish it, but in the RP there was a Ionia and Kalyra go out into the wilderness.
Oh yeah, that would have needed to happen kind of like towards the beginning of our kingdom building stuff, like early winter.
Okay.
Because the idea, we didn't really finish, but the idea was that Minoru was basically leading us back to the crypt to collect the bat that was present in the reflection that I did today.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Oh.
So Ionia is not here. Dak probably is, though.
And my pointed question stands. Who are these people that you've brought with you?
do you mean? The people just like everyone else in this town. Just show up.
Kato raises an eyebrow as he looks up past your shoulder, looking at what are clearly
It's not even really a town, really.
like ugly, beaten up, gnarly, almost like mischievous, like dirty looking, basically like bandits that have been living out in the wilderness and thieving and pillaging their way through survival.
Yeah, people need a way to live.
Are these criminals that you've brought in here?
Of course not. They've broken no laws.
I'm gonna sense motive.
Sure.
I mean, am I lying? Because I feel like there's like literally no laws here. So.
I mean, I'm trying to sense motive whether or not you're thinking like.
Kalyra is, in the strictest sense of the word, correct. They have broken no laws. They haven't done anything like in Rooston to have like gone that far. But yeah, no, if you're in the Stolen Lands, usually that means you're either some kind of trapper, trader, hunter kind of individual.
People we want.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're on the run from something. Yeah. There's not a lot of... Occasionally you will get like I'd like to go see some Eobarian ruins. There's a tower I'd like to go look at. Explore kind of
Those
times.
are the people Ionia wants.
I do want to see that tower in the middle of the...
They kind of land in the middle of that. You're probably looking at either... Okay, another really great way, because I know Dell will understand me when I say this. It's like when you meet a stranger in Red Dead, right? They can defend themselves, they're dirty looking, they're carrying weaponry, but their intent is harder to say. Maybe they actually need a ride, maybe they're going to push you off your really expensive horse and ride off with it, and I'm still mad about that.
Mm-hmm. Red Dead's great.
It's real good. Best game.
All right, then let me be more specific in my line of questioning, Cal.
Go on.
Are these the very types of people that we've spent the past year trying to rid the Stolen Lands of?
Are you asking me are the bandits? Why don't you just ask me that? Why don't you ask me that? Why don't you ask them that?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm sure they've done banditry. I mean, it's not a lot else you could do around here unless you're I don't know, a fur trader or something. Maybe you run a river crossing and you get killed. I feel like banditry is probably it's probably the best job you can take around here if you're taking any work. But
and you think that's the kind of folks we want?
I don't know, Exile Lord. What do you think about people who are taken told that they are no longer welcome in their own society, so they're forced to make a life on their own?
I mean, we were falsely accused of crimes that, well, maybe not.
And how do you know what they were accused of? You know, sometimes people are put in situations where they're forced to make choices. Sometimes they make poor ones. Sometimes they make good ones. I'm not one to turn down a strong hand, and we need strong hands. And if you're worried about them selling your cloak, well, I'll keep them far from you. How's that sound?
Say what you say is true. What do you intend to do with them? What role will they play here? What purpose will they serve? What good will they do? Will they do us and our people here? Besides being a threat to the safety and security of our people and their property.
Oh, poor fop. When will you learn the biggest threat in this little encampment of ours is me? And as long as that's the case, we don't have to worry about them being in too much trouble. But if you must know, they are locals here. They know this place. They know this land, and they know all about the lords and the bandits and all that, all those connections. But the type of thing, the people that you don't want in your town, they know them. They've fought with them. They fought against them. They've drank with them. But these are the sorts of people you want. You fight fire with fire, you know.
How many are there behind Cal right now?
If you don't include Dak,
4, right?
4, yeah. One of them, I'm sitting here rolling on race tables to flesh them out really quickly. One of them is considerably smaller than the other 3, like maybe 2 feet tall at most. They all have like hoods pulled up over, so you can't really get a lot of detail out of them. It's not like mechanically bad cold, but it's cold enough that you wouldn't want to walk around uncovered.
Sure. Take a step past Cal, and the 4 of you, come here now.
They do.
All right, I'm going to start on the left. I assume they're all nicely lined up.
More or less.
I don't know if you...
Wait. I want to be here for this.
Okay.
Because I told you what spell I gave up, but the spell I picked up is Abadar's truth telling. I can force them to tell the truth. Is that something
Damn,
you'd be
is that
interested in?
That's a thing?
Yeah, that is a spell. Super Zone of Truth.
Damn.
It's the same as Zone of Truth, except it's a level 1 spell, and I have to lay hands on them, basically.
Ooh. I'm going to touch you, and you're going to tell me everything I want to know.
Well, they can refuse, but they can't lie.
Right, they can refuse to answer.
They can like be evasive and stuff too.
Right.
They can be the Aes Sedai.
I
It's up
plead
to
the
you. Do you want
fifth.
that or not?
I'd love.
just-
I mean, I'm happy for you to be there, and if anyone ends up,
Okay, so I'll
you know,
hold off.
being-
I'll be watching.
yeah, let's not hit them with spells right away. But if you know, if you sense suspicious, if you
yeah.
sense suspicion, feel free to step in. All right,
I
you.
feel
What,
like they wouldn't have any problem taking the spell if they didn't have anything to hide.
yeah, but I mean,
That'd certainly be my.
Are we just-
certainly be my.
They
perspective.
are we
definitely have
just
things to
gonna
hide.
cast truth serum on everyone that we talk to though?
If
Like,
necessary.
What that Cal brings? Absolutely.
all right. Well, I want to have a candid discussion first. If things seem like they're being sketchy or they're being shifty or withholding information, feel free to touch them.
Okay.
I just think we approach them and say like, "Hey, this is what we do. You understand?"
Nah. Nah, this is a lot more pointed. What is your name? Describe the one on the first one on my left, Tommy, if you don't mind.
First one on your
If you've
left
gotten that far.
is about 2 feet tall. You can see like their hands come out from the cloak they're wearing, and in lieu of like a human's hands, it looks more like a frog's hands. Little like a couple of longer digits with a sticky bit on the end. The hand itself appears to be a brilliant purple in color. And they remove their hood. And this is the only race I don't have a name for because I don't know what I don't want to be like I'm the frog, but the table, or not the table, but the D30s I rolled said one of them is this, so sure. They remove their hood, and anyone present could make a knowledge nature check to identify. Yeah, local as well. Local's fine too.
Definitely not knowledge of that.
Getting there.
Saved.
And it's
Saved.
Ionia. So Kalyra, like, that's a frog. Senya's like, that's a boggard, but looks different. Ionia knows that this particular humanoid is called a Gripply. They are relatively short-lived, and though this thing stands just over 2 feet tall, like shorter than Bakken by quite a bit, they are probably fully grown. The purple skin probably runs like the entire way down the body and would imply they're kind of common out here in like the gnarl marshes and stuff, but the ones that are a little more vibrant come from like closer to the equator. By and large, I don't want to say think a Gungan because I don't know how the Star Wars group feels about Gungans, but they're think like that.
In the lake.
Usually like a hunter-gatherer tribe living on large fish and insects found near their arboreal homes. They usually don't leave the swamp because they don't really have any reason to do so by and large. The Li, but otherwise you have it right, yeah.
I call the little slimy one fish.
Oh my god. You're giving them all nicknames?
Well, I give everyone nicknames.
That's
Fuck.
true. Yeah. Fop, which, I don't know. You don't have a nickname for Senya, though, do you?
Yeah, it's just fucking wilder.
Oh my god. Speaking of Senya, I almost forgot. Real quick. Senya and Kalyra both have a thing from a drinking contest, and I almost forgot. Thank you for Kalyra talking about Senya. I decided what I want to do is I'll say Kalyra and Senya both now realize, oh wait, I got this thing when I was really drunk. And that's how I'm justifying how Kalyra would have this. I'm stealing it from 2nd edition. They're called trinkets. They're kind of like scrolls, but they function only for marshals. Both of you have, the item is called a wolf totem, and you attach it to your weapon and you expend it. The next time one of you rolls a critical threat, you can expend it to automatically confirm. But it's like a little one-shot thing.
Ooh, neat.
It's definitely super witchy, though. So, Kalyra can figure it out. I believe in Kalyra.
She'll figure out a way to justify it to herself. She is a hypocrite, after all.
Yeah, exactly. But back on the Gripply, the pads on the hands, like, it could climb. They live in the trees and can up the trees pretty easily. Some of them are poisonous. Some of them can, like, excrete their own poison and then apply it to weapons and things. They anthropomorphic tree frog.
Okay.
So from what I can tell, the boggards are more toad-like, whereas the Gripplies are more frog-like.
Precisely, yeah.
Gripply, boggards, frog people. It's all the same to me.
One created from a demon lord, one not.
Oh, I guess that's kind of important. This
No
one is
Gogunta here. This one is not.
This was not a demon lord spawn.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Because it wouldn't make it past the front gate then, if it was.
Indeed.
Kato is so choosy about when he chooses to be moral.
Demon? No, I've always been
No, he's not. He's
anti-
not being moral here. He's just being straight up racist. Look at it.
No, I've always been adamantly against demonic anything. Every time it's been mentioned. But anyway.
The short-term benefits for Rooston, if you all sell your souls, I'm just saying. It's going to be a real prosperous town for a
For
second.
a short time.
Yeah. Probably for your lifetime.
So, little one, do you speak basic or common? Basic. Wrong game.
Indeed. They pull back their hood and there's little like eyes on top. It looks like a little purple tree frog, basically. And it cocks its head and just like, do you speak basic?
Oh my god.
Big one. They climb a nearby barrel, shall we say, and they have to actually climb up the thing, whereas a human would just like maybe put your hands on the back of the barrel and provide like a slight amount of lift to get your hiney on the seat. This one has to just like hop up the top to be closer to eye level with Kato. Yes, I speak common.
Good. What brings you to the stolen
Can I ask
lands?
a technical question really quick, Del? It's kind of relevant.
Yeah.
I also gained the ability to discern lies at 5th level, and it's an immediate action. So does that mean after someone says a statement, I can like interject with, "I'd like to discern lies"? What he just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get to shout objection at the top of your lungs at me.
Nice.
Objection.
Continue, Del. I'm sorry.
So what brings you What brought you to the Stolen Lands?
Well, it's a long story, really.
I'll take the short version.
Demon lords, jungles are bad, new start. Also, and as he's talking, well, no, it's still kind of cold out. Never mind. I won't be like, as he's talking, a bug appears and he full Jar Jars. I was going to say, as he's talking, he withdraws a little potion from his little belt. And inside, preserved in some kind of liquid, is a not so sizable that it would be terrifying mosquito. Because in a fantasy setting, we have to be very clear. How big are the mosquitoes? But, like, about the size on planet Earth, if you saw it, you would be alarmed. And withdraws it and holds it out in his little hand out from his face, and the tongue comes out and foop, foop, grabs it, crunch. Also, the food here is to die for.
Interesting. And what do you do out here before my friend found you?
Explore, mostly. Try not to get killed, try not to get eaten.
I'll just sense motive on that.
Sure.
That's what you're here for, Esker. You're gonna be the
I would also like to sense motive on that.
the observer. Ooh.
Okay. They are not lying. Most of the animals you've seen out here are bigger than you, to say nothing of bigger than a little Gripply, and they probably, like, they wouldn't be smart enough to know that they may or may not be toxic. So you can assume several scenarios have existed where this poor little Gripply has had to run for their life from, like, a thylacine, the things you found in the pit that one time.
I more mean the explore mostly. Do I get the sense that he's holding anything back, or it's holding anything back?
Not particularly.
Okay.
There's probably more to that story, but nothing they're not trying to tell you.
Okay. And I guess my last question for him will then be, and have you been running with any miscreants, bandits, killers, thieves?
Other than you and me.
The Grippler gets a little uncomfortable and be like, I can tell you if you want. I haven't done anything bad.
That's fine.
But, and then, like, kind of trails off.
Continue.
There was this time he looked, or, yeah, we call him. He looks down, looks back up. There used to be a bandit out here named Cressel.
We know her.
She
Or knew her.
needed the money she needed, and the little one holds out his arm and kind of, like, it might be a little jarring to watch someone, like, give themselves a rug burn. Almost, you know what I mean? Like, grab the skin of your wrist and twist it. But they do so, and a little, like, greenish liquid comes out and, like, down onto the ground. She said she would kill me otherwise. I'm not happy about it, but I have more to do. There's more to see. You understand.
Very good. Back in line.
Wait, what did he do exactly?
So gross.
With the nature check that Ionia rolled, she would know that Gripply are, about 75% of the time, they are toxic. They can, like, poison dart
So he
frogs.
was juiced for his poison?
Pretty much. Like, they can access it and then, like, apply it to weapons, and it would be a mild paralytic.
Okay.
So he was basically a source of poison for Cressel and her crew. I mean, I don't see that.
Tibor brought him.
Yeah, probably. All right. Second.
And since Kato isn't answering these questions 3 in the correct order, what is your name?
Oh, I don't care what his name is.
I already
Well,
told
I
you.
do for the note sheet. It makes it way easier to keep track of things.
He's fish.
Yeah, we did get his name.
My name is not Fish. My name is Twen.
Fish. All right, fine, Tuen. Thank you, Tuen.
No,
You can get back in line with your with the others.
And they do so.
All right. The next one. Step forward. And state your name.
To the name generator! Away! What's a good one for this one? I'm gonna.
I love how now Tommy's gonna have to like fast track all of these character creations because we're getting to the root of who here is worth keeping and who is worth throwing back into the wilderness.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so
we can imprison them in our spare houses.
The next one steps forward. This will be fun. Removes their hood. And what check to identify? Religion or nature, I suppose? Yeah, either the local would also be good.
What is this roll? Alright, good.
Okay, so she removes her hood and she has very full, voluminous, brave-esque, curly, brilliant red hair that falls...
You're good. You can stay. Back in line.
No.
And one of her eyes is like emerald green. The other one is purple. And that's where Ionia and Kato, I think everyone's like, oh, that's a changeling. This person's mother was a hag.
That's rude.
It is rude. Usually how that will happen is exactly how it reads in the fairy tales. Either dad will need to make a deal with a coven of hags, and in return they use him to create a new future member of the coven, if you will. In some cases, dark magic, dark dealings, things of that nature. But yeah, no, she is a changeling. Her mother was a hag. She will I guess to feed Kato even more. I will never assume what a character is into, but because she has evil, dare I say it, witch magic in her literal bloodline that has caused her body to form in ways that most people would find attractive, because hags, well, in their natural form look like a Skyrim hag raven, but can illusion to look like other things to lure people to death, dismemberment, and being on the dinner table.
And Cal will step in and say, this one is wretch.
Wretch.
Yeah, it's wretch.
You and your nicknames.
When Cal says this, the woman's hands, they clench into fists down at her sides.
Oh, don't look at me like that.
And then when she unclenches, it's probably a couple seconds of you can see it run through her head, no, I can't start a fight right now. This would be bad. My situation's not the best. And she unclenches, and her palms are both bleeding.
I think she's a little off-put because she's not the prettiest one in the room, but that's fine.
Oh my god.
I like her.
Yeah. Same.
Spy master.
So did she give her name?
She did not. She was just told to step forward, and this is wretch. And she gets.
No, I said step forward and state your name.
Oh yes, you did. That's right. That's why I have a name generator open.
Name generator.
To the name generator. I don't like any of these names. I'm gonna just jam this button a bunch. It's boring, but sure, why not? Just Julia.
Styles.
Talden name generator, put out by dungeonetics.com. And Julia it was.
All right, Julia.
If that is your real name.
Would you like to sense motive or objection?
I mean,
Objection to Julia.
I know a little too much on a meta sense to believe that she's actually making this up. I mean, I guess it would be a reason to reroll. Oh, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
All right, Julia, I think you know how this goes. What brought you to the Stolen Lands, and what can you bring to us that would make you valuable?
Wait, we didn't ask the last guy that question.
I don't know. I should have. I forgot. It was on my list, but I didn't ask it.
Well, it's not like they ran off into the swamp.
Yeah. What brings you here what brought you to the Stolen Lands, and what have you been up to out there?
I'm from Restov originally. I left when I manifested so I wouldn't die. Now I'm just trying to eke out what existence I can.
She left when she what? Sorry.
When she manifested. That is to say, with the checks y'all made, a changeling will, like, unlike something like a tiefling, that oftentimes mom will die in childbirth because crazy demon spawn blood thing, a changeling's usually doesn't manifest until, like, puberty.
Oh, so they're just like look like a normal person.
Yeah, just like whatever dad was. And then suddenly your body forms real like a kind of like how I can't think of her name, but I started watching The Witcher. Damn it.
Yennefer.
Yeah, thank you.
Yennefer.
Thank you so much. Sort of like that. But she didn't start as like crippled. And I guess also y'all would know her palms are bleeding because her nails stick out probably like 4 inches from her finger and they end in points.
Oh wow! And she clenched her.
And she got mad and clenched her fist, and in doing so,
Okay, that's less attractive.
Well, that's not the test here. Okay, just keep that in mind.
thanks,
I just
Dad.
imagine, I imagine Kato right now, like Emperor Kuzco, with all of the like potential brides lined up.
Well, so far, only one has been a viable.
Yeah, Tewa is the most eligible
Ugly,
bachelor for
gross,
camp.
hate your hair.
Ugly, gross, hate your hair. Get out of here. Oh,
I rolled one I didn't like, and while we're role playing, I have time to change it.
well, that is a very tragic story, my lady. So sorry to hear about that.
Come off.
Cal snickering.
So how have you managed to survive out there? It's a dangerous country after all.
It is. How have you managed to survive?
Well, I mean, I am mighty,
Murder.
Jesus Christ.
as you can clearly see, and I have companions who also help keep me safe.
Must be
Or we can
nice.
keep you safe.
And what do you want in return?
What can you offer?
Hey, remember the thing about her past and the criminal stuff? You know,
Feel free to step in. Kato has gotten a little sidetracked. I'm just being realistic.
Look, Fop, why don't you just keep it in your pants a little bit, okay? This is my crew. They offer me things, and then I offer you my fealty. She's
Kato-
not beholden to give you anything.
Fair. Kato shakes his head.
did you say fair?
No.
Even
No.
if this is your little entourage, Cal, if they are living here in Ruston, they would still be citizens of our future kingdom, and therefore they would be beholden to our future king.
And when that future happens, then we will make those arrangements. But for now, let's just say that they will supply a service. They will help us keep the banditry in line, feed us information, and it's my job to protect you all. I'm just doing my job. I can't be everywhere.
Very good, very good. Well, and Kato bows. It was a pleasure to meet you.
No.
You may join the others.
No.
All right. Speak
What?
it.
How have you been surviving all this time in the wild?
She turns, looks at the tax master. We do what we have to.
What does that mean?
Rhett, you do not have to answer that question if you don't
You do have to answer that question.
not. Do you know what I did before I joined your little band?
No, why don't you tell me?
What a great time to confess your crimes.
Yeah, that you probably said that to the wrong person.
A person's past is the past.
Person's past is a great indication of their future.
A blood priest. Let me tell you this much. If someone wants to turn off a new leaf, they are rarely afforded the opportunity to. I'm providing an opportunity for a lot of people to do something a little more worthwhile with their lives than
That opportunity
go.
is not yours to provide; it's ours to provide. And it's our collective judgment to provide it.
I'm the warden,
Clear,
and my job is to build a god. And
Kalyra.
I think the best suited people to guard us are the people who live here, who fight here. And if your concern is that they will turn on us, well then that's on me.
Kalyra, no one is judging them, or we need to know
No
their
one
past.
is
so that we-
judging them. You have them lined up here, and you want them to confess their whole lives.
We just want to
If
know.
that's
kind
the
of
case,
people
if
they
that's the case, if that is the case, then I will ask them all to leave.
Fine. Let them go back into the wilds and die. If you're not willing to
No,
at
they're
least
not going to die. No, these are survivors. These are proven survivors. Unlike a lot of the rabble that you led in this town, these weak-willed and
if he's not
scared and frightened
if,
people.
if Kalyra is not willing to at least let us ask them questions, basic questions that we should know about their past to give us any indication of our own safety and security while they are residing in this town,
I promised
then they should leave.
I promised them amnesty, so I'm not gonna let you.
That wasn't yours to promise.
It doesn't matter. I
We're not-
promised it.
We're not. This isn't a
That was
trial.
part of the deal.
This isn't a trial. We're not passing judgment necessarily. We need to know the facts so we know who we're dealing with and what to expect, or what to keep an eye out for, or what to acquit should the should they earn that through their future deeds. But we need to know what their past is. That's all. It's simply information gathering, nothing more.
Well, I can assure you, none of these people here have done anything any worse than I have.
That is not comforting.
And yet I saved your life on several occasions.
And they will all have the same opportunity to earn what you have, but
And did I have to tell you all about my past?
I
Maybe
would
you
have
should have.
it would have been
Let me-
probably nice if you had.
let's put it this way. Let me put it this way, Blood Priest. This is not your pretty little city that you came from. This is the wilderness. We need survivors, and these are people who want to put their past behind them. And I offer them an opportunity to do that. And you drudging it out of them is not conducive to that arrangement. Now, if you can't, so if you want trust, I believe you should offer it first. Let them give them a chance, just like you gave me, to prove themselves. And if they do not, or you find them wanting, then by all means. But they have passed my test, and if you don't trust my judgment,
I don't.
then we have another discussion to have.
I have
That's
something I'd like
between-
to say.
And that's a discussion between you and I.
Kato, the reality is that let's say one of these people is a vicious murderer that has made their living the past few years murdering innocents and stealing their goods. Maybe one of them is one of the people that ambushed our caravan coming down and killed the guard and those horses that we paid so much money. Either way, those aren't the kind of crimes that you can say, oh, all they need to do is they have another chance to turn over a new leaf. They should be held accountable for those actions.
The
So I want-
the attack on the caravan was not done by common bandits. That was done
It's
by
hardly the point.
I get what Esker's saying. However, Ionia wanted to say something. She's been waiting very patiently. So
Literally has broke out the snacks, yeah.
That was mostly just because the interaction between Artoris and Cal was sure to be juicy. Cal makes me very uncomfortable. I
Thank you.
have spent many nights laying in bed awake, wondering if I would see the next day. Cal has also saved my life on multiple occasions. She's been incredibly unpleasant, but she has been reliable. And I think she has a point. I think if we're going to welcome citizens into our new city, we need to do so under the premise of trust on both sides. Innocent until proven guilty. When
What?
after someone has come into our city and is aware of our rules, if they then choose to break those rules, then we can deal with it.
We are not going to turn this kingdom or the city into the next Port Ice, a refuge for
Thank you.
criminals, bandits, smugglers that are, that the local government turned a blind eye to because they were
I'm not
valuable.
saying we turned a blind eye to it. I'm saying we punish them when we have evidence that they've done something wrong.
And that's exactly what we're trying to ascertain here.
You're trying to get them to
But Cal has a
confess.
point.
You're trying to get them
So
to
far,
confess.
Are we
I
going
will
to
say,
interrogate
I will
every
say
person
so
who
far,
comes along?
I will say so far, 2 out of the 4 that we've talked to have not raised any immediate red flags. Sure, they
She
done
refused to
some-
answer the question because Cal stepped in and stopped it. We don't know anything about the second one.
we know she was
And what do you know? What do you know
exiled
about
from her.
Wedge? What do you know about Dak?
I know that they were in the employ of a good man that we trust.
Oh, really?
These
And-
individuals are in the employ of a terrible person
And
that
what did
I
you-
do not trust.
And what did you know about the dead noble you knew for 1 month?
I knew him to be of much higher character than you, who I've
Really?
known for longer, but the
So-
more I know, the worse.
The kind of man who would sell a servant girl and then leave her behind.
The kind of man who would respect the rule of law and wouldn't urge people to murder unarmed captives.
And here's what I know of lawmen. I've seen lawmen take people out of their homes and cut their arms off for no other reason other than because someone dressed like Kato over there said that they stole her purse.
And do you want to talk about the alternative? Do you want to talk about what happens when there aren't laws?
I'm not. That's not.
Because that's what we're in the middle of.
That is-
and
that
that's
is
what you're
not-
dredging into our town right now. And you're saying, oh, well, let's not even ask or wonder about
That's-
where they come from.
See,
We
that's
just
the
trust you.
That's the short-sightedness. There's not just 2 alternatives. There's not one thing, or there's not chaos or strict law. They're all in betweens. I'm not saying that we become some den of thieves. These are not thieves.
How do I know that?
These are
Your
going to-
word?
these are- no, because starting today, I've deputized them. This is my. You wanted to make me a lord. You wanted to make me a warden. Well, here I am. I've deputized them. These are my lawmen. These are
Kato,
my deck wedge.
Your
whatever.
warden is creating an army of miscreants underneath your nose that are swearing allegiance only to her, that she thinks only she has the purview to approve or disapprove. This is
not-
unacceptable.
I'm not. I don't have the authority. If I don't have the authority to raise my army, then what good am I? Am I going to? Are you beholden to me whenever
This
you
is
make
not
some
an
edict
army.
or
This
some
is a
law?
gang.
This is not a gang. You look at them and you call them what you see. You don't know anything about their character.
I was trying to learn
No,
more
you
about
wanted
them,
to-
and
no,
you
you
wanted to
wanted-
say, no, we don't get to know anything about
You
them.
don't
They
get
just
to know
draw a
about-
blank slate.
You don't get to know about the past. You get to know about them. You ask them
They
who
are
they are.
their
Whether
past.
ask them, no, they are not. Ask them what are their wants, what are their desires, what are their aims, what do they look to accomplish in their life? That's what matters.
This is an impossible standard. So
Not an
anytime
impossible
somebody
standard.
commits a crime, we should ask them not, oh, did you, inquire as to the crime, but just make sure that going forward they truly want to be a good person. No.
No.
We hold them
not-
responsible for their actions.
And this is a special compensation I'm making for a situation where we are in need. I'm not talking about someone who's been caught of a crime. I'm talking about recruitment and making in making something of this place.
How do I know
you
they
want
didn't
to-
commit
if
a
you-
crime
if you
and
want to-
flee here?
If you want to turn away anyone who's ever done anything wrong in their lives, or doesn't, or are ashamed of the things they've done in their lives, is
All right.
that how does that make you who? Just because you've given blood to your god, now you're able to just stand up there and cast sight down on those who do not have your powers and your abilities or your opportunities in your life and your starting. All I'm asking is that you give these people their due, their chance, and give them ability to live their future lives and not judge of their past. That is what I'm asking. If you want to judge them by their character, then judge them by their character. Judge them by their works and their acts. But learning about everything they've done in the past, even if it's things that they regret, but they don't, it would change your perspective of them and would make it harder for them to be what they want to be going forward. I offered all these people, I offered every bandit and every bandit that I met in the woods. I told them, come to Rustav. Here you will find a new way. Here I will show you how to be strong without taking from the weak, without killing needlessly.
Have they killed needlessly?
I'm sure they have. Some.
Then we should send them
Because
away.
they
or kill them.
Because they didn't know a better way. And I'm here to give them a better way. These people deserve that.
They don't. They don't deserve that if they've killed needlessly. You don't reward bad behavior with opportunity. You punish bad behavior.
All right. I've heard enough. Both of you make extremely valid points. However, the truth of the matter is, Cal, you've made, as much as I disagree with it, and I actually wholeheartedly agree with Esker's point of view, I also have to respect the fact that we did give you authority when it comes to this matter. This is your duty, and you've made an action, you've made a promise. For us to go back on that promise would not just look badly upon you, but it would look badly upon all of us. So here's what I expect. I expect you to whip these people into shape. You will be responsible for them. Any action they take, that is you will be held accountable for. Should any of them steal, commit any crimes, you will share all blame that any of them incur. Do you agree to these terms?
That's all I asked for. I expected nothing less.
With that said, we will tone down the interrogation a bit, but I do wish to meet the other two to at least learn who they are.
Yes, I
So
have cute nicknames for all of them. Continue.
Oh, of course you do.
Should any one of them step out of line, though, it will be your ass, Kalyra.
It's a fine ass it is. Well toned.
I leave. I walk away. I'm no longer here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not happy either. But, I mean, we can't just continuously undermine each other. Unfortunately, even though, this is out of character, by the way, even though I 100% agree with Esker and I disagree with Kalyra, we have to show strength and unity amongst each other, at least for now. So he made a promise. At this point, I feel like we have to honor it, even though I don't agree with it. However, these types of things will definitely need to be approached differently in the future, and we're going to be keeping
set that precedent at all.
Well, we'll get there.
We won't with Kalyra. The more you give Kalyra, the more she takes.
No, because now we know. Now we know what she'll. Now we know what she, she's been doing. We didn't know what she was doing.
She'll go out now and she'll find someone even worse and promise them something, and then come back and last time there wasn't.
Well, no, this needs to be a discussion we need to have, but we're not going to do it in front of these people.
We already did.
We tried. I know, we kind of are. There's going to be a part 2 to this discussion but we need to get this over with because we've been here for.
Well, I've walked away. We'll talk
I know.
privately about it later.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet the rest of our new citizens.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right.
So this whole time, as this
I hope they
conversation
shank
has
you.
as the conversation is going on, Julia has kind of just, the louder things get, the more uncomfortable she looks. Not like this is awkward. More like I wish they'd shut the hell up. More
Julia.
of like clenching. There's one of them in the back. There are two more behind her. They still have the like hoods and things up, and one of them, like as voices escalate, it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. Their hands go up to cover their ears, as if like it is too loud for them.
Yeah, that was probably should have had a sidebar on this, away from the. But whatever.
Gotta remember to call sidebar.
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 Once again, I apologize for the for you guys needing to experience that. However, Julia, thank you for sharing what you shared, and if I could get the next to step forward, please.
Okay.
And state your name.
The next one steps up. The one with their hands on their ears steps up and removes his hood, and he is probably about 6 inches taller than you would expect a human to be. His hair is jet black, his cheekbones are really high and protruding, his ears are a little pointed, and his skin is kind of pale. He has little teeny tiny spectacles that he wears, and he's like squinting to try to see. He seems to be more like you talk, he turns.
And this is Stretch.
Stretch.
He's also a nature check.
Oh, Stretch. I love these nicknames. So what was it? The first one was
It's fish.
Fish.
Man, I seem to have forgotten everything about nature.
Yeah.
What was Julia's
Uh,
nickname?
Wretch.
Crap, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, it does.
It's because she's ugly on the inside.
Sure, she's got witch blood all in her.
No, fair enough. And then Stretch. Okay.
And with the nature checks, by the look of them, actually, honestly, I probably shouldn't have called the nature checks. Y'all have dealt with werebats in the past. His hands went to his ears because his ears are a little too powerful for like a normal human. He seems to also be like detecting by smell in addition to by sound. His eyes are real squinty, and it seems to be he's not a true lycanthrope. If that was the case, he would just, I've set my hearing to 11. I should turn it to 8. They're yelling. Whereas he's kind of just constantly at like 15. Rather, what you're looking at here is what's known as a skinwalker. The offshoot of a humanoid and a humanoid with lycanthropic ancestry. In particular, this one seems to have come from a werebat.
Is that like a werekin, or is that different?
I'm not sure what a werekin is. Actually, no, I lied. I do know exactly what a werekin is because they're called skinwalkers, and then the variants are called like X-kin. Like, calling this individual werebat-kin wouldn't be wrong. In some circles, they are known as the blood-marked. Skinwalkers are like what they are. It's a big jumble of lots of terms for a lot of the like half humanoids. Same for a changeling. Like you'd call Julia Hagspawn, and she'd probably punch a wall. But
from what I'm understanding, then he is the child of a natural lycanthrope and a like
regular
more regular
person.
druid.
Yeah, you got it.
And his name?
His name, I haven't landed on a good one yet for you. I know his last name.
Bruce Wayne.
I know what you're all thinking. It's another werebat, but it's not the same. And I had an old boyfriend back in Roostuff just like him. Well, not just like him. He was far more handsome. But he's not going to bite anyone. Well,
Can he?
Unless I want him to.
Can a skinwalker infect?
No, they can't. They can't
like...
inflect you with lycanthropy, but like they can change their bodies to manifest the bestial traits of their forebears. So, like, yeah, you would expect if the individual were to open their mouth, their teeth would be pretty sharp.
They can't go like full bat transformation though.
Not
Like a
without.
true lycanthrope.
No, well, in some cases there are some exceptions, but not like as a standard.
And I'm sorry, the name?
His name. I have too many tabs open. What is your name, son? That one's too hard to pronounce. I don't like that one. Torak. Torak from Nisrock. You killed my father.
He's a dinosaur hunter.
Is he?
I'm just kidding.
Is he the son of the werebat we killed? Because that would be awkward.
He nods.
I got that too.
Thank you.
I got it as well. They pull out a very excessive gun that makes no sense. And it fires electricity at you. Also, there are Triceratopses with cannons, and we've gone to Numeria.
Torak, huh? He
Sorry about your father.
looks
Sure.
him up and... Wait, did he confirm that? Or was...
Yeah, he did. I didn't really know him. Follow the trail of clues. Clues led me to the stolen lands, learned he was associating with ne'er-do-wells. I decided I'd rather not go pay a visit. Then I hear you appear, and I hear you've killed him. Didn't really have anywhere to go back to, necessarily, so here we are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really glad to hear that, because I really was not that sorry. He was a terrible person.
Ionia, shut your...
Yeah, and I was the one that killed them. I told them I wasn't even trying when I did it.
Oh my god, you guys are horrible, horrible people.
In fairness, Mother said he wasn't the nicest either.
He really wasn't.
Did you know of any other lycanthropes in the area? There was another in the vicinity that we only saw for a brief moment before they metamorphosized and flew away.
I haven't really heard of anyone in particular. Certainly there's a lot of wide open territory out here if someone would like to go disappear for a while.
Were we sure that was a werebat?
I mean, it could have been just a normal bat, but it was, it was... Tommy accidentally left an NPC token on that floor, and then he went, "Whoops!"
Tommy didn't accidentally leave an NPC token. Tommy forgot his pro membership on Roll20 lapsed, so you can suddenly see them. They were there. They were definitely there and would have escaped whether or not you would have tried to escape. I should say whether or not you were able to be like, "Oh, there's a token in the basement."
Yeah, someone said, "Ooh, there's a token in the basement," and then we go down there and the token's gone and a bat flies out. So I'm pretty sure.
This metagaming jerk.
One of 20 logical conclusions for what could have happened.
True.
Yeah, that's good.
But since we just fought a werebat,
It's a logical conclusion. Definitely.
It's not unreasonable to think that there would be another one
For
that
sure.
escaped.
Yeah.
If we saw bats fly out of the basement and take off, yeah.
Indeed.
After the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But he
Bats go
doesn't...
in the Belfie.
Is that something that happened when Senya and I went to get Bakken?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was around that time.
Yeah. It
You
was.
guys
Yeah,
really
yeah.
need to tell me more.
And we fought a
We
zombie
did tell
army
you.
too.
We did tell you. We
You told me that you had been attacked by undead.
and we told you that a bat flew out of there. We didn't tell you it was a werebat. Well, I didn't because Cal didn't think it was a werebat.
No. Kato did immediately. Thought it was another one of them. But assumptions, right? It's assumptions.
Well, that's
Okay.
fine.
Well, once again,
Just here we are making enemies.
As you
Friend
do.
of mine.
Yeah.
Welcome to TTRPGs. Do they have stuff? They're now my worst enemy, and now that's my stuff. And we loop.
All right. Well, pleasure meeting you, Torak.
He
And
nods.
thank you for sharing. You may rejoin your. I don't know if we're gonna call them your friends. I was gonna say you can rejoin your friends, but I don't even know if they know each other. You can rejoin the others. We have one last person to speak to. If you could step forward and state your name.
They do so, and she doesn't remove her hood. Matter of fact, as she steps forward a little bit, it's been kind of like partly cloudy all day, and then a cloud moves over, and the sun comes out brighter than it has all day. And as that happens, she like raises a hand up to shield her eyes. Just, Ashling.
Yeah. Oh, so I didn't get enough description to come up with a nickname fast enough. Damn it!
Got him.
Sorry. So what was her name?
Her name is Ashling.
Ashling.
That's my last. That's
That's
my.
it. I know. That's what I thought. I thought she was saying. I thought she was calling.
Yeah,
Cal.
that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
thought she was talking to Cal, because that's Cal's last name.
She spells it very different. I'm stealing her from an in-person game.
How's she spell it?
Hang on, I gotta. It's very Gaelic, like this,
Aisling.
but pronounced like the
Ashling.
IS makes a S8. The Gauls were a strange people. Celtic is weird. If you ever listen to any of the members of Bullet for My Valentine speak in interviews, they're Welsh. You can't understand it. It's like that.
Cato says, "Don't be shy. Remove your hood. Let me have a look at you."
I'd really rather not. It hurts.
It hurts.
Are you a mite?
They're much too tall.
She's too low.
Oh.
Can we lock Ionia in the cellar during these?
This
It's
is
been a very boring winter.
this is Shades.
There you go.
my God. Shades. Oh,
She
nice.
doesn't-
I
she
like it.
doesn't- She doesn't like the sun.
All right, shades. What? It hurts. What's the matter? Did something happen to you?
Can I step into the shade? There's
Of
like,
course.
and she does so, and then she removes her hood, and it's a religion check.
A what check?
A religion.
Oh, I don't have religion.
Okay.
If it's a vampire, this is one where
Arcturus
This
does
might be
turn
my
around
drop
at
the
this notion, and Ionia, yeah, by her dark hair. Actually, no, her hair is not dark. Her hair is like platinum blonde, shall we say, like almost like silver in color. Her very pale skin. Her eyes are kind of dark. She's a little too skinny. She's not like emaciated, but she's a little unnaturally skinny given her height. And when she talks, her canine teeth are a little too sharp. She is what's known as a Damphir.
ooh, half vampire.
Yeah, her probably father was a vampire.
When we were gonna play the other campaign, the evil one, I was gonna be a Damphir. So
Wait,
I know
which
all
one?
about them.
Which one was the one that was only 2 feet tall?
The
That was
Griffiths.
the
First
that was the toad. That was fish.
Oh, I thought this was the one that's 2 feet tall. Obviously, I wouldn't have asked if she was a mite if I didn't think she was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool, a Damphir. That's awesome. But Cato doesn't think so. I do. Matt thinks that's awesome.
And as she pulls down her hood, you can see she's wearing an amulet. And by the religion check, she's wearing a holy symbol of the goddess Sarenrae, the goddess of mercy and light and healing and the staunch and merciless opposition of evil.
That's interesting. Aren't your kind generally more aligned with evildoers?
You can't just ask people if they're evil, Cal.
She's kind of like,
You know?
I'm assuming Dad is, yes.
Oh. But you
Well,
chose to walk a different path.
And we certainly can't choose our fathers, can we?
We can't. As far as I know, I was left on the steps of the church. I've come to the Stolen Lands to try to find him, and she pantomimes one hand as if it were holding a stake and the other hand as if holding a hammer and like of hammering home, right?
Tommy, you've been cutting out like just a little bit, just like one word in each sentence.
Well, that's all you need. You got 75% of my words. That makes
but
it good.
It's the keywords that keep
It's always, it's always the most important word.
Good. That's all you need. You can figure it out from there.
Mad Libs.
Yeah, it's Mad Libs. Mad Libs Pathfinder Edition. As if to oh my, I may have got really loud just now. I watched myself peek. I'm sorry if that was painful. Like one hand stake, one hand hammer to pantomime. She doesn't actually have these things, but like boop, boop, boop. As if to hammer the stake into something.
Right, but what did she say she came here for?
She didn't. Came here to, and then makes the pantomime.
I don't follow.
Killing vampires, bro.
Oh, you're to kill vampires.
This seems like an odd place to do that. Wouldn't isn't there a bigger vampire problem west of here in Ustalov?
That vampire problem isn't my vampire problem. Also, quite frankly, if I were to wander into Califest wearing this, she picks up the holy symbol, I'm pretty sure I'd make it about 6 steps before I would be torn apart.
Okay.
The Stolen Lands are a big place. This is a place where people can hide. From what I've read, Dad is here somewhere. I'd like to make sure nothing like me happens again.
Guys, a side quest.
We have got some daddy issues in this group.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't. I'm just gonna kill mine.
There it is. The daddy issues.
How many people
Well,
want
that's
to
an
kill?
issue.
How many people in this group want to kill their dads?
Show of hands.
I love my
I thought
father.
it was.
Oh, my dad's dad, you guys.
Ione is
Yeah.
just Nathan Explosion, just fucking love my dad.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. No, yeah, I love my
Cal,
dad.
Cal looks at Ashling. Isn't it normal? Doesn't everyone want to kill the? I thought wasn't there a book about this? Never mind. Go ahead.
Well,
I think you're all going to really.
yeah, pleasure to meet you, Ashling.
She nods.
You are one less vampire in these lands. Will do everyone a lot of good. So
I'll kind of go through and shake everybody's hands except for maybe the toad. I don't know if that, or not the toad,
the toad,
frog.
the toad, frogman.
I don't know that that's really a good idea. When I get to Ashling, I'm gonna tell her, "You're my new favorite Ashling."
She smiles and just, good, happy to meet you. You can definitely also, you can shake a Gripply's hand. They choose when the toxin is
okay.
secreted. He's not just constantly poisonous.
That would be inconvenient.
It would be.
Julia's hand will probably at least kind of hurt. She can't retract her claws.
I'll do my best to navigate around
So-
it. And probably end up doing like a young Frankenstein elbow touch kind of deal.
Sure. As someone who works in the service industry and is often gloved, yeah, I understand completely what you mean. Just, yeah.
So are they claws or just? I just pictured them as like she grew her nails out really long.
Yeah, both statements are accurate. She has grown her nails out really long because they grow really fast because pag blood, and they're long enough and sharp enough to, like, if she wanted to, like, claw you with them, she could.
Right, but like not like bestial claws. They're like still human fingernails.
Yeah, the nails are just really long and pointed.
Right. Okay. Just wanted for visual
Sure.
reference of what I'm looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
We'd need to get her a pair of nail clippers.
Get her a grooming kit.
Get her a grooming. You have that
Well,
conversation.
Cal-
I don't want to get
I keep getting Cal and Kato mixed up.
scratched.
Kato seemed fond of her. Maybe he would be willing to share his.
I mean, I have it back in my bedchamber. We can. I can give her a tour while we're at it.
That being said, our Lord's bedchamber is easily accessible. So if any of you do want to visit him at night, it's fine. I've done it myself.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
God.
kidding.
Ionia kind of raises her eyebrow at that.
I'm kidding. These are
Actually, can I sense motive on that?
Sure.
these are gods, not consorts for you. Fop.
Yes, I know. I jest. It is a pleasure to meet you all. I pity you for having to work with Kalyra, but I mean that was the decision you made, so that's your bed to sleep in.
I'm an amazing boss. Ask Doc. If he says anything else, let me know.
Dak has probably quietly excused himself when things got a little too loud. He's kind of like trying to think of a good anime visual for that, like when you're facing the fourth wall and you're like slowly stepping sideways, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Just like no one's gonna see me.
He's got that like monka-ass bead of sweat coming off of his face.
Yes, y'all understand. Perfect.
Yep.
With the sense motive
Yeah.
check, yeah, Ionia knows something happened between like Kalyra's not just bullshitting. Something went down.
Ionia raises her eyebrow at Kalyra first, and then at Kato, and then she just kind of like puts her hands on her chin and is like thinking about it. It's like that math meme.
I thought you were imagining a doujinshi. How did I go reveals that?
Yeah, I got nothing on that one. Sorry. I know enough about anime to make kind of anime. I watched Adult Swim sometimes as a kid.
Yeah, it's one of those when they take characters in perfectly normal anime and they make them into hentai.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Anyway, back to the matter at hand.
Well, that was an unnecessary sidetrack.
Kalyra,
That escalated quickly in the wrong
Please.
direction.
please see your new deputies, to their assignments, and then meet with me in the Great Hall as soon as possible, please. And Kato heads back to the keep and goes to find Arcturus as well to relay that we need to have a talk.
Kalyra looks at the other two still there and goes, the Great Hall, is that where we eat? What is the
It's the keep. It's our castle.
whole thing is a hall?
No, it's the main foyer of the castle. We're gonna meet there, and then
There's an entrance hall followed by the Great Hall,
yes,
followed by the dining hall, followed by a regular hall.
Okay.
so we're gonna meet in the
So
Great
many
Hall.
halls. Okay.
Big table. There's a big table.
Wait, is that where the bugbear was? That's what the bugbear was. You should have just said the bugbear, please.
Bugbear.
I mean the owl bear. Excuse
I was
me.
like,
Pretty
wait, there
obvious.
wasn't a bugbear. When did I put a bugbear? Some kind of bear. A bear-adjacent creature.
So I'm gonna hunt down Arcturus. Is he easily? I don't know. Esker, where did you go? I'm gonna
Shrine.
assume your shrine. Okay, that was the first place I was gonna look.
Okay, you found me.
You found me.
Taxmaster, may I have a word? If I'm not interrupting your prayers.
You are, but what is it?
So just to make sure that we are on the same page, I do apologize for what happened back there. We do need to certainly set some ground rules, especially for Kalyra, it would appear. However, as we did put her in charge of assembling the city guard, unfortunately, it did not feel right to undermine a promise that she had made to these. So I trust that you understand why the decision was made and understand that we'll need to set some, as I said, some ground rules in the future so that this doesn't happen again. I've asked Kalyra to join us in the Great Hall, if you wouldn't mind accompanying as well.
If you don't mind, I'd like to continue praying. However, if Kalyra feels fit to recruit any more mass murderers and rapists into our guard, I'd prefer we do something about it next time.
Well, that's why I want to discuss. We need to have rules in place. We need to.
She doesn't listen to rules. She makes her own rules. Consistently. She doesn't consult with us. She does whatever she wants. And the more we let her do that, the more she'll continue to do.
Which is why I think it's important that we make her aware that will no longer be tolerated. But
I tried. But you didn't back me up.
that was neither the time nor place to continue that argument. The decision, or the act had already been done, and there was no way in good conscience to undo it. However, we can make her aware that that type of behavior will need to be that we will need to be consulted in the future before she goes off making promises for amnesty to random strangers that she meets out in the wild. If you would like me to have this conversation with her myself, I will, but I thought you might want to be present to give to provide your 2 cents, but I leave it up to you.
I have attempted time and time again, not only to rein her in, but also to restrict her influence on you, and it seems like I never make any progress.
She has no influence on me. I see the value she brings, but Don't
She's
mistake that
building a gang right under your nose.
She's building a militia.
And how can you be so sure that she'll always respond to you? And she's bringing in miscreants that swear their fealty to her alone. And they have their own sordid past and crimes that we don't know about.
Because if Cal wanted to have killed us, she would have done so already. Or at least have
she's using all of us to build up her own little kingdom.
We won't let that happen.
That's why it's important we vet her guard. And yet, we've already set a precedent that, well, we gave you this sphere, and so you get to just do that.
We gave her a one-time exception because we didn't explicitly set ground rules, which we will do so at this time.
Did we learn anything else about the other two? The one was a spawn of a witch, demon, or whatever the hag.
Yes.
What were the other two?
One was... The other two were actually spawn of other vile creatures, but they seemed... One was a skinwalker, the half offspring of the werebat that we fought here actually.
Great. So we're bringing in the descendants of
our
the Stag
enemies.
Lords, the descendants of the Stag Lord's lieutenants. I'm sure they'll make great lieutenants for her when she kills us all in our sleep and turns this into her own bandit kingdom.
For what it's worth, they appear to hold the test for their own parentage. They are not their fathers. They're not like their fathers. The fourth one is, how do you pronounce it? Dampier?
The PH is pronounced like an F.
Dampier.
Dampier, yeah.
A half vampire.
What is going on?
But also a vampire hunter.
You cannot... Look, creatures born of their sort can deny their nature for only so long. Sooner or later, they will return to what they are.
That's a pretty fatalistic view.
And what both of you would know is in the case of the three of them, the only one for that is like expressly true is the changeling. The exact condition is known as the call. When I said that a hag will conceive a child with a human and then the changeling is made to like increase the coven, I mean that literally at some point, usually around puberty. So you would think Julia has probably heard this already. If not, she's actively contending with it. A minor compulsion, something that will not force her, but something that will always tug at her to seek out Mom and Mom's coven and join Mom's coven. In the case of the Dampier and the Skinwalker, it's not quite as black and white. The blood-marked might enjoy the taste of insects. The blood-marked might, like, want to live in, not like in a cave, but like communally, in the sense that like a whole bunch of bats would. The Dampier, if you cast Cure Light Wounds and touch her, it will hurt her in the same way it would hurt an undead. But they are not fated to become vampires or lycanthropes.
Do they do Dampier like have like? First of all, in this setting, do vampires like drink blood and do all the things that?
Yes, there are some that do not. The vampires that y'all would know do. On like in different parts of the world, some will like drain people's ki, or in some cases just rip you apart and eat you. But yeah, she appears from the religion checks to have come from what's known as a Moroi, or the Dracula vampire.
Yeah, and that might be mechanics aside. That's certainly my character's position.
Of course, yeah. And then to follow
Then
up
we'll
what Del said, in some cases, some Damphir can, like, she could probably never completely subsist on humanoid blood. Like, she would still need to eat. In some cases, she might prefer her meat a little rare, but she can, to a very small degree, it'd be like, she could maybe, in some cases, like some Damphir, subsist on humanoid blood in the same way anybody in Discord right now could subsist on, like, just broth alone. Right? Does that make sense?
Is that has Arturus never heard the bard tale of Blade, the brave and courageous Damphir?
She's probably a little closer to Alucard, but also that.
Oh, that's worse. Don't.
Yeah.
Without the edge. And the supernatural speed.
The point is, we're trying to build a civilization here, and we're bringing in all forms of monstrosities to serve as our guards.
Mm-hmm.
We can have this conversation just so I can bear witness to what I presume to be Kalyra weaseling her way out of something again, and you letting it happen.
We're not going to let anything happen. All right, let's go.
Wait, out of character. What are you talking about?
You are a weasel.
You are a weasel.
What did that weasel
Your
out?
character is very weaselly.
But what did I do? And then weasel out.
I honestly, even out of character and in character, I honestly believe you intend on usurping. I believe that.
No, I haven't.
I believe you're. No, you haven't yet, but I believe that about your character.
Okay, I was just checking. I was just making sure I didn't miss anything.
A new empire under Queen Kalyra the
You're a
First.
liar and a manipulator.
I mean, that's basically all of her mechanics. What is an intimidate check if not manipulation? Got him.
All right, has Kalyra made her way in as requested yet?
Yeah.
Or is she still dealing with her guards, her army, the army that she's raising to overthrow and instill her new world order?
I told Dak to show him the ropes.
Oh, Dak. Also under her thumb. This is bad, Esker.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for a purging.
Job or something.
It's time for a purging. No. It's
What's
fine.
What's Senya been doing this whole time?
That's fair. We haven't heard a lot from anybody who's not you three.
I've just been kind of observing that whole interaction, like.
Oh, you've been hanging out with me and Minoru sharing our snacks.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the whole matter? I'd like to hear some Senya thoughts.
Well, Senya thoughts is that like we didn't really set clear boundaries for Kalyra when we made her marshal. Is it marshal or is it which one?
Yeah, it's the marshal. I mean, no, it's warden. You're marshal. God damn it.
Yeah, I get him screwed up.
Yeah, when we made her warden, we didn't really set clear boundaries with her. So yeah, you guys need to set clear boundaries with her and give her clear consequences for when her band of merry men steps out of line.
Well, you murdered us all with you and your band of merry men, but you're gonna
I think
get
you guys
a
are
severe
forgetting I think you guys are forgetting the first word in band. Well, okay, the second word and the third of a band of merry men. They're married.
Oh,
Of is an important word.
Not that one doesn't count. You know it. That's not even capitalized.
Are we
Wow,
having this
Kalyra.
conversation?
Have a seat.
I'd rather stand for this if you don't mind.
Are we
I'm
like
standing.
are we having a feast? What's going on here?
We're having a.
You weren't invited.
Someone's about to get ate.
Rude.
I mean, everyone. You guys are welcome. You're part of the inner council, but this is mostly just to reprimand. So like, we wouldn't make like a show out of this.
Well,
This is
you said me in the grand hall, so I assumed that there was like some sort of event going on. I thought maybe there'd be food and festivities. Tax Fest is coming up, and we need to start making plans for that. So, thought maybe that's what this was about.
So you waltzed in saying like, "So what are we talking about, guys?" Clapping your hands, sitting down at the table.
Oh, I'm in character. Yeah.
Yeah. And we just kind of look at you and be like, "Nothing so pleasant, unfortunately."
Well, Tax
In
Fest is a
character,
very
I'm-
important holiday.
In character, I'm annoyed with your character. So I'm not having any of it.
Annoyed with my character or her character?
Her character.
Oh,
I think he's annoyed with everyone.
he's annoyed with everyone.
That's
He's
just-
always annoyed.
that's-
With
yeah,
I'm not
his,
gonna
annoyed with
say.
you, actually. Not yet.
Not yet. That's his general. Artoris's general
It's
condition
default. It's
is
default.
default.
We would have been, Dal, you and I would have been best of friends if you had just turned those four.
Yeah,
We would have
but-
been.
I know, and I wanted to, but you just can't undermine when you give someone a role and they do something that's within their theoretical capabilities, and you can't just
Okay, so
renege on that.
if I pay someone to hey, could you I don't know what would be a really good example. Like, could you clean my house? And then they I got you, bud. And then they burn it to the ground and then clear the land so that it's completely clear of
Clean.
anything. Look, it's all gone, clean. And then I'm like,
It's different.
"Oh,
It's
I guess
different.
I wasn't clear.
I like how he says, "Gotcha, bro."
It's a little different. We put Cal in charge of forming the city guard.
She brings in thugs and criminals.
Yeah, but she formed the city guard.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but it's
Oh.
clean. There's certainly not a dirty house here anymore. Either way, let's keep going.
let's Kalyra, don't think we're blind to what you did here, and we're not impressed.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what we're talking about. I know just because the type of people you like to run with back in the slums of Restov are, criminals, thieves, bandits, outcasts, degenerates, and people who generally cause mischief, doesn't mean that's the kind of people we want to be filling our streets with.
That's very interesting because the people
Spare
that
us
you
the
grew up
fake
with,
moralizing, please,
It's not
and just
moralizing.
listen.
It's not moralizing. You are looking down on these people just because of what
There
they
we go again.
We are looking down on them because of
This moral
the lo-
posturing is very tiresome.
I agree. And I extend that to you.
We're not the ones bringing in. I paused because I was about to say something a little insensitive.
I know what you were gonna say.
Criminals.
With that said, what is done is done. What I said stands. You are, fully responsible for anything that they do or say. So it'll be up to you to ensure that they uphold the law and that they follow it. With that said, going forward, all recruits, especially if they're going to be accompanying members of the council, yourself, direct people that'll be reporting directly to you, directly to myself, directly to any of us, will need to be properly vetted to ensure that they are upstanding citizens of the highest caliber.
Well, you want to interview every soldier we get?
Not soldiers.
That's what these are.
Right now, we're hand selecting people to act in very important roles when it comes to the stability of our fledgling kingdom. There will come a time when we have generals and captains who can interview soldiers and fill their ranks with whoever they deem appropriate, and they will have their own means of running through background check. I don't know background checks, but vetting them. But for the time being, while we're still small, while we're still growing, these are the most important days. All it takes is a few bad apples to bring this whole thing crashing down around us. We're very as much as I hate to admit it, this kingdom could hardly be considered stable at this point. And so every person that we invite in.
I have a request.
Speak.
would you be willing to give authority to the High Priest to ascertain at random whether the people that Kalyra are bringing in are living up to the standards that you're setting? I have the ability to interview individuals and determine if they're telling the truth, and I could verify that we're not bringing in anybody questionable character to serve as our guards. Of course, the final say about what to do anybody I have suspicion about would be up to.
Would you agree to those terms, Kalyra?
No problem with that. Unlike the blood priest here, I know how to judge someone's character.
Very good.
Now, this has been a heavy conversation, Kalyra. I don't want you to think that we don't trust you. Well,
Really?
It's just that maybe there was some misunderstanding when it came to the caliber of company that we wanted to keep. Maybe that just wasn't clear. And now that we have cleared the air, now that we have laid our cards on the table, we can go forward, more knowledgeable about how to proceed next.
So we're only taking 3 gold a week mercenaries?
No. Not all of the people you brought in today are would have been turned away. In fact, I don't know if any of them would have been turned away. However,
Because I picked them.
what?
You think I just took anyone who came to me? You know that stupid goblin came back, right? Sent him away.
Oh, the one we met at Oleg's?
Yeah, he was cute, but he was stupid.
Okay.
That goblin was played by Chris Pratt. You cute, but you simple.
He was a cute but simple goblin, and he showed us where Cressel's camp was.
Exactly. I don't need cowards like that would break so easily. But this is my point.
We're not going to.
I understand where you're coming from. I know these aren't the type of people you are all used to consorting with, but underneath their veneer of as gruff and grimy as it may be, what you might find there is some modicum of honor, dedication, to a degree. Admittedly, it does take a certain hand to know how to use that to the benefit. Obviously, folks like that aren't used to following orders.
They'll need to learn. And like I said, I think the main issue that came up was the fact that these 4 individuals had already been promised, acceptance had already been promised, that without, having ever even met the rest of us, or we didn't even know of their existence, and yet they were already promised positions within the kingdom. We may have accepted all 4 of them.
This position is a bit
Well,
strong.
Sure.
Might I suggest that these individuals make an oath? Oaths, after all, hold power.
I like the sound of that.
It's a very wilder thing of you to say, yes.
Well, no, oaths of fealty are certainly pretty standard. They will swear. They will swear to the crown. They will promise to uphold the laws. Promise to uphold the laws that are written, and will be subject to any any and all punishments for breaking them.
Stop, thief! And then a frogman chases after you.
That is kind of, that is
A
actually
poisonous frogman.
I am picturing that little 2-foot tall toad warrior chasing after. That's like
You all
Chrono.
have to understand. You're very far from your homes. We're not going to find a lot of the people that you know.
Did you guys play
type of
Chrono
people.
Trigger?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we had a grip play for a while, and we made a lot of
You know
Chrono Trigger
Frog
jokes.
from Chrono. That's how I picture this guy's gonna be, just hopping around with his cloak and his sword.
I like it.
I imagine the tree frog, son of the guy that like runs the talent agency and BoJack Horseman.
Also good. But yeah, no, we had a
man.
Gripply Magus for a while, and we made a lot of Chrono Trigger jokes at their expense.
All right, well, I think we've beaten this horse thoroughly dead.
Fair.
I will strive to find the best of what I have, of what this land has to offer. Trust that I would not bring anyone before you that was not worthy to serve. My liege.
Yeah. See, not that I don't trust you,
Nor should you.
but I don't
But
trust you.
If I taught you anything, it's never to trust anyone.
That is true. I don't trust any of the people you brought in. They'll have to earn that trust.
Shouldn't. What you should do, what you should know, is their desires, and then use that. You trust that people want what they want, right?
And what do you want?
I've already told you what I want.
Did you two stop flirting in front of the rest of us? It's really awkward.
No offense. She's a little old for Kato.
What are you talking about? I look the same age as you.
You've got gray hair and.
This is dye, you idiot.
Oh, okay. Thought you were like actually like like
What?
naturally like graying, like old.
Oof.
I mean, she literally just announced not an hour ago that she's been visiting your bedchamber at nights. So I mean,
That's not.
you can drop the act, Kato.
It's not that kind of visit. She.
For the record, I think she'd make a terrible queen.
Oh, stop it!
That we are agreed.
How's it feel, Del?
Oh.
You like it? You like being chipped?
I'm really tempted to have Bakken come in like, what are you talking about? As Kato is just flushed. But
I'll
it
have
does-
you know, I'm younger than that one over there. She points at Arcturus. I'm certainly older than you.
You're elven, so you're like super old, aren't you? Like 100 years old or something?
Only half elf.
which
Not that
means
Not that
that
I
she
like to talk about it.
comes of age around the same time-ish as whatever dad was. She'll just live a little longer and be prettier as doing so, but not like hundreds of years.
Gotcha. All right. Well, anyway, enough about this really awkward conversation. Did anyone want us to have anything else that I may have missed? So, are we agreeing to Arcturus having the authority to do random screenings and interviews as he deems appropriate, so long as he doesn't abuse the. Not that I think you would abuse it, but we just need to make sure that we have.
I see no problem with that.
Ah, yes, but who will watch the Watcher? Hmm?
That would be me. That's what I mean. So long as he doesn't abuse that privilege, which I will make sure he doesn't. Not that I think he would, but we need
yes.
to always keep an eye on each other.
Oh yes, I'm sure if any of my men have a problem with it, I'll make sure they know to come to me, and then I will come to you immediately.
So let
I'm
me see if
sure.
I've got this right. Arcturus watches Kalyra. Kato watches Arcturus. Senyo watches Kato. I watch Minoru. We just kind of go do our own thing.
Oh, I have
Why-
my
why-
eye
why-
on you.
why
I have
Santa
my eye
watching
on you.
Kato?
I have
Why
my eye
Santa
on you,
watching
witch.
Kato?
Don't worry.
Kato was
Because
watching
somebody needs to watch Kato, and then you can look out for herself.
the gods. Look-
Gods watch Kato. Oh.
That is
That's how-
that
that's
is
how-
an awfully big head you've got, friend.
That's how kings live, is it not? Who watches the king? Who watches the royalty? Gods. The only.
Many of us have a god watching them as Taurus.
Yeah, that's true, actually. In a literal sense.
Yeah, Kalyra doesn't watch me. I watch her.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
You said-
you're
Kato watches me.
right, and you watch Kalyra. So you keep Kalyra in line, and I keep you in line. But I don't think that'll be an issue. I think we're gonna get along swimmingly.
I was just asking who watches Kato, because I think, you know,
Well, Ionia.
somebody's got to
Ionia
keep him
has
from...
been. Ionia's helped kind of be a moral compass from time to time, though lately she's just been goofy. Goofy.
I have cabin fever. It's boring here in
I
the
know.
winter.
Are you a
Agreed.
mite?
Are you a mite?
That was the best. I love that so much. Oh my god, that
And I
was
think-
so
And
funny.
the hood comes down, and it's actually 3 mites standing on each other's shoulders.
2 mites, yeah.
Because I was just
And
imagining
yet again,
like
Ionia is right.
the tone in which you said it was like exactly how I pictured that meme of the butterfly guy saying it.
Oh yeah.
It was
Is
perfect.
this a mite?
Is this a mite?
Somebody make that meme.
I've been feeling goofy lately, guys.
It's cool. You're allowed to.
We've been really serious for a really long time. I just want to have some fun. There's
There's no problem with
there-
that. Don't think
there's
that's not a
no-
criticism.
Have you guys seen that tower out there on that lake? Let's go check that out. Let's
Well, no.
do something.
First we have that surprise for Cal that we kept a secret for these past 2 weeks.
I mean, if you guys want to, you guys should go to the hot spring. It's nice out there. I've killed all those little fish. I
We've been
ate.
to the hot spring. It smells bad.
Yeah,
It smells
but it's-
horrible, and there were
yeah,
big
but-
frogs there.
No, I ate all those little fish things. I don't think they're
You
called.
Did
ate
I get
the
rid of the
tadpoles.
smell?
Ate them.
You went
Yeah,
in
yeah.
and ate all the tadpoles.
The fish. They were,
Honestly, are
like,
any of you
their
surprised?
bones were very squishy. It was very easy to eat them.
Oh God! Please stop.
What?
Okay, on to other business.
You eat
Cal, while you were out rummaging up your merry band of misfits, we heard there was rumors that came to us from the townsfolk that there's a. What did we learn about? Did we just learn that there's a witch out there? Did they?
Or is
Well,
there the big creature or a bunch of them? Like
There's some
Further
there's some Arupsi, there's some trolls,
Right.
there's that really neat tower.
Yeah.
But
no,
out
about
of
the-
character, I did watch the episode.
Oh,
Damn, I will keep them unlisted. That would have been so good to have Timur show up just, witch? And his eyes light up.
but I knew about the witch like the day of though.
because of the
I know.
Dio left it on the map.
Yeah, I know I did.
To be
would've-
fair, I prefer it when the videos are posted before the next session so that I can go back and take notes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. It would have been the best Christmas present to old Tibor. Christmas is 3 days away. I failed him. Witch! A witch to kill? Oh!
Wow, that
didn't-
snuck up. I did
I
not
did
realize
enjoy
what
you
time of
guys
year it is.
all assuming what my character would do though. That was also very entertaining.
Yeah, fair. So yeah, y'all got basically just to your south, somewhere down where the hills turn into the swamp. There is rumors of a witch from what Dak has told you. I gotta do
Apparently
all that.
Arcturus wants to
build a bridge.
build a bridge or some shit. You wanna
Build a bridge out. Hold on.
wanna make it
How does
a
Arcturus
board
feel
with
about
this
witches?
witch?
Well, I have a big difference in how I feel about, like, let me put it this way. I think guards in particular are individuals that I think should be upstanding and, presentable. But, like, any individual person, I'd just take them as they come.
Which is why I said he needs to whip them
Presentable.
into
I
shape.
can't help but feel that was a little bit racist.
What?
I didn't say that to you.
More
I
class.
said that to Kato.
I'm here.
Yeah, she's sitting at the table,
You can
eavesdropping
say
on the whole
Kato, and I can
conversation.
still hear it. I've
Yeah.
got pointy ears too.
Boom.
I
Just
mean, I still
picturing-
don't answer to you, so you can ask what you want. I don't have to answer.
I'm picturing Ionia running around the table, like hopping up and down, like at different parts of the table, just listening.
That's kind of
So,
what I was
so
envisioning.
she's
what are you guys talking
like
about?
a small dog.
I didn't realize that the 5 of us were spread at like, over the course of half a mile.
Yeah.
We were all just having a nice little conversation right next to each other, like normal people.
Nah.
We are. I think
It's just-
Oscar's being.
We're trying to build a civilization here, okay? Civilization, its building blocks in many ways are the guards, and so
And so Arcturus would prefer it if it was the petty bouge who were the guards.
I just think, when you start having your guards be frog people and vampires and half bat were creatures,
I
the
suppose they
change-
should all be human then.
it sends a certain message.
Don't forget the changeling.
And exactly. Who's
So basically-
apparently gonna go berserk someday and
Kill us all.
So yeah, witches in general, we'll see if they're a good or decent person, and I'll judge them on their merits. But do I think that they would make the best guard?
No. My question about the witches. Sorry, and I guess I wasn't clear. When we heard the rumors from the locals, like the townsfolk and stuff, did they tell any stories about what has the witch, been abducting children? Like, what are the wives? What are the wives' tales about this witch, and how, like, the stories that have been, circulated?
Most
In
of the stuff
regards to
you've heard has been stuff you've heard from Dak, and a lot of it has. The rumors all look 5 to 15 degrees different, but can track to a similar kind of origin. Stories of how Asmodeus himself has granted her the witchy powers, and apparently she travels around the swamp with a tiger. Something about the ability to talk to birds, and we're not safe because she can see through birds and she's watching us. There's probably a little bit of the eat the children, cook the people, hags,
Ooh.
things of that nature. But those are a little less, like, you hear them as much, and a little more like the common fare of there's a swamp witch.
Is Asmodeus? That's a demon, right?
Asmodeus.
Devil.
That's the devil.
The
Like in
Prince of
Devil.
Devils, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Remember
the big
the other campaign we were gonna play? Asmodeus is like the bad deity of Cheliax.
And it would.
Yeah, I was gonna be a cleric of Asmodeus back in that campaign. So.
And speaking of clerics, as in Pathfinder, it's pronounced Asmodeus. I will take either. I won't be like actually, but
Actually.
but it would resonate, I'd say, with Arcturus, probably being that Arcturus is Chelish. It's a long, long, long time ago. Cheliax was a upstanding nation following an upstanding deity, and they collectively, at least as far as the nobility is concerned, after long periods of bloody civil war, the nation sold its literal soul to the devil. So, like, it's probably
Is that why you left?
something backstory, something has Arcturus told you.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that.
It probably, at least, like, if you could see behind the mask, there's probably at least a little, like, twinge when that comes up.
Got horns.
As far as the tigers and birds and things of that nature, that all sounds like it's common to hear that, not necessarily about witches, but about her specifically.
Well, if she is if she's granted powers by the literal devil,
Well, then that
then
changes everything, obviously.
All right, let's
I was
go.
really hoping she was just, out there doing some like wildlife reservation type stuff.
And that
Yeah,
may be quite possible. It's all you're hearing is rumors, and, like, generally speaking, when we talk witches, the conversation will turn to hags pretty quickly. So, like,
Maybe we should bring the what's her name with us?
What do you want to? You want
That seems
bring the red?
really
You want to bring the
good,
red?
yeah.
No, let's not.
I mean, she can
That
come
seems like
with.
a really good way to give our enemies more allies.
Yeah,
I don't.
Maybe she'll have. If it ends up being a hag, maybe she'll have some insights. I mean,
Or
Don't-
maybe her little like blood thing will boil, and she'll be like, "Oh, my coven."
Mama! And then it gets worse.
Goes running to her.
Some people don't need to be close to the temptations, Fob. It's best to keep her far from those types, I believe.
Fine.
What? You sound so disappointed.
No witch killing here.
Well, clearly he's a fan of witches.
No, I have no interest in witches.
Mm-hmm. These eyes, Ionia.
What?
Hey,
Please no.
I'm not a witch.
And she's basically like his sister, or she's basically his sister.
Got the. Do you have a familiar?
I have
She
a
does have a
dog.
cat.
Cast spells. That is not a normal dog, and you know it. It bit a werebat.
All right,
He's
all right.
very, he's a very brave buddy.
So are we gonna go witch hunting? Because
I mean, if there's a possibility that she's watching us, and are we having this conversation inside? We are.
yeah, we're still in the Great Hall.
Now look around for birds.
If there's a chance spying on us, and that maybe she's evil, probably that would be the priority to go deal with.
I'm not a big fan of going to go meet a witch, but if she's that close, it's a good idea to at least get the measure of what she is.
And then we'll be just so close to that tower.
I mean, yeah, it's on the way, kind of.
No, it's past where we're going, but it's so close though. So close, guys.
No, that's what. Oh, sorry, I meant the witch is on the way to the tower. More or
Which
less.
is on the way to the tower, right?
I kind of do want to see what's in that tower. I'm
know,
very
right?
interested in it,
Just
but
over there, and it looks so cool.
it doesn't look like anything. It's just a.
Kalyra rolls her ass.
It's just I wake up every morning and I look out the window and I see that tower and it's like, Ionia.
You've been waiting for the snow to melt. So that you
Ionia
can-
begins singing a Disney princess song. It's out there.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of interested in that tower, except maybe Cal, because she doesn't seem to be the kind that cares about that kind of stuff.
Archaeologist.
What did we determine? It's like an Eobaran,
Yeah.
Eobarian ruin.
What's that mean? Or what's Eo?
Eobaria is a history check, and yes, it's in a similar way that the Stag Lord's Fort was an old words are stupid. Eobarian tower. So too.
Oh,
is
those
that
were
one.
like the old civilization that.
Yeah, that's the nation to Brevois East. That is like
Nation is a stretch. More like the
ancient civilization.
Yeah, that's not quite correct either. Eobarian is present day. It's an ethnicity more than anything else. A long, long, long time ago, they, much like the Black Stags, ruled more so like tribal nomadic society, pushed back over time. Recently, there was a plague there. Like in the past, I want to say like 100 years, there was a plague there.
Look, that tower's almost certainly full of more dead things. I don't know why you all are so excited about going there.
Is the
Well,
land of the East not
I
called
know why
Eobaria?
I know why the witch is excited about going there.
You're right. It is called. It's not like a nation, though. In the same way, you know what I mean. I know that can be confusing because the Chelaxians are from Cheliax and the Taldans are from Taldor, but like the Ulfin are from the lands of the Lenorm King, so on and so forth. It's just there's no organized state.
Yeah, that is just off of my map of the Inner Sea region, so it is not one that I know a lot about.
Same, because there's not a lot of printed stuff. You see some of it in Reign of Winter. You'll see some of it in this. The rest of it is we brewing hard.
All right. Time to move out.
Okay.
First of all, we need a way to cross the river on that side, right?
Well, we didn't even talk about Tax Fest. We forgot about Tax Fest.
Oh shit! Yeah, there's the thing, right?
Yes, that would be. You could call it like you could set up Tax Fest now. Tax Fest could be when you come back. It's unless it tracks, I forget, with a specific holiday on Galarian's calendar.
So basically, we ended in Gozrin. I'm not sure what day exactly. Tax Fest takes place on the 15th.
Okay.
And it really does not matter other than that it is a holiday celebrated by Abadarans and Taxmaster, and it's been a long time that we've been out here. We've missed a couple holidays, and I'm feeling a little antsy. We could go collect some taxes and have a feast. And
there's a holiday where you go around and collect taxes.
It's the shitty holiday.
Worst fucking holiday ever.
But you thank all of the citizens one by one for their contribution, and it seems like a really good thing to do at the beginning of building a new civilization. And then you have a feast.
Hey guys, it's spring. It's spring. You left your lives behind to start new lives here. Let's start the year off by giving us all your money.
Well, no, a portion. Fair.
But I know. I'm not gonna.
It's
Esther is in charge. Sorry, Arcturus is in charge of. Is officially in charge of that whole our church celebration thing. Whatever So yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, I figured we were, but so feel free to run that.
Celebration.
Yeah, I mean,
so you're thinking about it wrong.
We missed Vault Day. We missed the market one.
We didn't have a market.
Well, yeah, that was way back when we were at Oleg's.
Oleg kicks down the door and begs to differ, and then leaves. Objection! And then
it was a sad day for Ionia and Arcturus when we did not celebrate Market Store. So
okay. All right. So
I think I've made my point.
Yeah. Fine. Great.
Okay.
How long? So what day are we on? When is this thing happening?
I track it as we've gone from we're around the beginning of Gozrin, the beginning of April. So to do this, we would run a kingdom turn and run through the month of April, basically.
We would have to run kingdom, which is fine. We can.
Alternatively, if the party would rather go witch hunting or tower exploring, you wouldn't miss it in the time it would take to come back unless you decide to let's go all the way to the lake and back, then maybe. But
well, here's a thought as well, is that we have 25 minutes remaining of this session.
Cool story.
Cool story.
So maybe heading out and getting into a big adventure might be something we want to pick up on at the beginning of the next session. Was the point there?
Okay, that makes sense.
Let's. All right. I've got the calendar. Open. I don't see this.
Make sure it fit it all in the episode. Where's the storyboard?
It's on the 5th. It's on the 15th of.
You should know by now that I'm
Rova.
Yeah.
15th of Gozrin. The 15th of April. It's on literal tax day.
Here, I'll send you the wiki.
So I don't. Oh, there it is. Tax Fest, Abadar, right? Okay. And we are at the beginning of the month, same month, right now.
Yeah.
Roughly, I don't know. Say we're at the.
Call it the 5th. The kingdom turn for Farast was done and is being resolved as Kalyra shows up with friends, basically.
Oh yeah, what is our quote unquote kingdom day where we roll for? Or where
we've been doing Kingdom Day on the 14th so far.
4th.
So the day before.
So can we say today's the 4th?
If I cut out, I'm sorry. The 14th is when.
Oh, 14th.
Yeah.
Oh, the day before.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
we shouldn't take a week and a half to go kill a witch and come back.
Well, the thing is, okay. So when we end the kingdom turn, that ends on the 13th, and then the next day would be the 14th, or does it?
More or less, we can. I'm making it a little weebly wobbly-ish now because someone was gone and coming back, and also so we are sure we don't miss important holidays to the kingdom. I think it technically would go on the 14th, kingdom turn, and then the 14th of next month, and then the 14th of next month. But That feels a
And I
little
So the
restrictive.
thing then is that Tax Fest would be tomorrow.
Tax Fest would
If-
be tomorrow if we did a Kingdom turn. If we don't
go
do a
straight in.
Kingdom turn, it would be a couple days after you got back. In either case, it works.
We don't want to skip. I don't want to skip ahead to Kingdom Day if we can spend the next week and a half doing. being
Wait, so I'm
productive, right?
confused. When we end the previous Kingdom turn, does it end at the beginning, like the first of the month, or does it end at the day before the Kingdom Day?
How we've done it when we had like, here are 4 Kingdom turns to run. We just like run it as like the 14th, the 14th, the 14th, the 14th.
Because
If
there's nothing else to do because it was winter
I
and we
think
were.
I think what she's getting at is that like the things that transpire that represent the roles, do they happen in the month preceding or after?
they happen like to say like during the month of Farast, they would have happened 15, 16, 17, 18. There would be a stop on the calendar day if something bad happened that the party would need to address like right away. Like if there is a riot outside or if you're attacked by the Tiger Lords, that kind of thing, then it would stop there.
Okay, gotcha.
So Tommy, can we make decisions say on the 14th, and then continue to play through the month and have those things happen as we're like out
Yeah.
adventuring
Yeah,
and stuff, right? Like
absolutely.
we don't
Yeah.
have to time skip a month every time we have a Kingdom Day.
We only did that because there was snow. We could like,
Yeah.
here's the 14th, here's important stuff that's happening, Kingdom rolls, and then back we go.
Right.
That's also
So
true.
I'm thinking, my thoughts are we do stuff for the next weekend up until the 14th till we reach Kingdom Day. Make sure we're all back here by then. We make our declarations, spend our build points, do our kind of stuff, prepare for Tax Fest. We actually haven't set up there's actually a thing in the Kingdom rolls for creating or for organizing an event, right? For the
Yes,
Kingdom.
indeed. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, so we can do that, and then the next day we'll have the actual event, which I mean it's only a day to set it up, but we're a small town. It's not going to take. If we were a big kingdom, we'd probably want to start planning this like a month in advance, but we're not a big kingdom yet. So the fact that we kind of let this lapse until 2 weeks before or a week and a half before I think is fine. So we have a week and a half to kill. Right now we're on the 5th, so we have 7, 8, 9. We have 9 days before we make our kingdom rolls. So
Which would be ample time, in theory, assuming it's gonna sound like this is bait. It's not bait. Assuming Candlemirror Tower doesn't have a dungeon under it that is several, like, that's the Emerald Spire Super Dungeon, yeah! Assuming that doesn't happen, you could probably loop around, like, where the witches are, where the Uruxi tribes are. Maybe not where the Tiger Lords are, but you probably don't want to... Sennia would be like,
don't
nope,
wanna
nope,
go.
nope, 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 nope,
we
nope,
don't
nope,
do
nope.
that yet anyway.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, that's like way over yonder.
That would be too far, but certainly like in between the Skunk and the Murkier River over here, like you could round that off easy enough. But is that what I'm hearing? Are we first things first? We're going witch hunting.
Yeah, you think so?
Okay. So
I think I've moral debated my self to death at this point, so I need to go kill something.
So are we also then exploring like these couple of hexes down here?
Well, we don't know where the witch is exactly. We're gonna have to. I would
Yeah, so we're
imagine
just
we would, yeah.
Get that little area between those two rivers.
So thoughts, real quick. Let me get my.
Funny how all your moral
Bring the end
debates end with you killing
I
something.
gotta go kill something to blow off some steam. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So we need to cross here, right?
Now
Is this where we have
Turris
to
is worried
cross?
about Kalyra.
It's all very tongue in cheek. What I say is tongue in cheek. What you
Get
say
the-
is literal.
Got the despot over here. He's like, oh, today has been trying. What about some beheadings?
man, today was such a bad day at work. Oh my god, it's just like how normal people will be like, I need to play a violent video game to blow off some
Right.
steam. Little Kato's like, let them eat cake.
All right, but serious question. Is this the only crossing we have to get over that way right now?
If you wanted to hoof it, yes. You could also... You have allies with real nice dwarven boots.
Oh, we
They're
have to go.
quite a ways out there though.
But... True. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
We really just
We need to build a bridge here, like in our kingdom in our kingdom
Well, we're
tile.
about to go get the resources, right?
I thought you
Yeah.
wanted to build it on this side.
Well, no, we need both.
Okay.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
didn't we determine that if we settle this one, we get a
Yes.
free road that includes that bridge rather
Not
than
a
having
not a free road. If we
pay for a
settle,
road,
if
and
we
with the
settle
road,
this, if we settle this and build a road, we get a free bridge.
Right, that's what I meant.
Okay. If we sell
Rather than building
Likewise.
just a bridge, which
likewise
is
in the other
expensive.
just
Same
really
with over
weird.
here. Building a bridge is expensive. Building a road is pretty cheap and gives you a free bridge. I love these
When we
rules.
do
I
build
do
here,
think we
though,
should- I mean, in order to get to that island, we're gonna need boats, right? So maybe what we do is like go get the witches, come back, do our kingdom phase, build something that gives us boats, and then we can sail the seas down to Candlemere.
Yeah.
I need to kill
Well, on-
Ionia so
on
Zersh
Tuskwater-
can re-roll a character with that voice always.
We could build a harbor here at some point, and then we could just take boats down the Tuskwater all the way through to
Harbor
Candlemere.
on the lake.
Yeah, you certainly could. That lake is, if each one of those hexes is 12 miles, the Tuskwater takes up quite a bit of real estate.
Tuskwater's huge.
Mhm.
I thought the
we can
like
get
the pier.
fishing.
Is the pier like an upgraded harbor, or is it the other way around?
I think it's the
The
other way
other-
around.
the other way around.
Mhm.
We'd start with a pier.
Okay. I was gonna say because that harbor's got to be mad expensive.
I meant a pier. But I
Okay.
mean somewhere we can have boats so that we can then ride the Tuskwater. But anyway, we're getting aside here. So how long would it take us to venture
To the Red Bridge on the west.
through the Red Bridge, and we have to loop around and start exploring like from this hex, and then like this hex, and then like this hex, and then we could come down like here and check this out. Maybe hit this one and then head back.
Not maybe hit that one. We'll definitely want to hit that one because otherwise we're gonna have to come back to it. And
It's
gonna be really
going
hard.
through the forest, so that's gonna take a while to search.
Yeah, do we have
Isn't
one
that
of
also where the Aruxi are rumored to be?
Yeah, and also the hexes that where the foresty starts to go a little bit of this color, those are marshes. Those will take a little bit longer.
Right.
But yes, they
That's where
are
we-
somewhere around Candlemere is where the rumors of Aruxi tribes that you guys are hearing.
So really, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 hexes here that are unexplored in this area, which is why I really wish we had a bridge here, because then we could just literally cross and go bing, 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 bing. But we don't. Can we swim it?
You can certainly try.
Iona
would
tried.
like to not try.
Iona tried and she almost died. So
Iona? That's-
Iona,
That is so Ionia.
sorry.
First off, it's pronounced
Yamade?
Ionia. Second, I'm not a witch.
For real though.
Are we going or?
Can we just Artoris is in the back of the minivan? Are we there yet? Okay, is that plan then? Do we want to follow that and make that loop de loop?
So
Will that be enough time? Will we make it back in time? That's my only question.
You
Assuming
should
we
be
don't
able
get
to.
imprisoned and held for a month. Okay.
Yeah, you should.
Well, or I mean, again, we could do a kingdom turn, build a road there, or build a pier and get ourselves some boats, and then that makes
pier would
getting
take-
down like that saves us.
the pier would take
Saves us
time.
That would allow a month to
actually
pass, yeah.
I just don't want to waste this weekend. We have a week and a half. We could be making, instead of just sitting around in our castle.
Well,
going-
what about clearing these ones up here? With that
I thought
week
you
and a
were.
half?
I thought you were dying to head down to the Candlemere.
I mean, I am. I just also would like to do things efficiently.
Classic.
I mean, I don't care. We'll do whatever.
So I hesitate to take Kato's token and move it over here. Does anyone have any objections to this?
No.
I mean, I've made my case. I don't think anyone agrees with me, so let's just move it. Let's just go.
Let's go.
So as you guys make your way down the Skunk River through the forests, you hear it before you see it. The sound of a smaller voice is, "Help, please, anyone, help!" And then it turns the corner, sees you, and you probably notice the like vibrant pink hair of the gnome before look, color in the forest, and then you realize there's this little gnome. There's a shield strapped to their arm and a sword hanging at their belt, jangling off chainmail. Just please, our wagon, it fell in the water. Trolls, we need help. And like this little one just kind of makes a beeline for Kato. You are the lord of these lands, yes?
Calm down. Take a breath.
Okay,
Now.
but we need help right now.
Sorry, we got a witch thing to get to.
Speak,
Little
speak,
busy at
speak,
the moment.
speak
Can we
slowly.
come
What's happening?
Our expedition was chased by trolls. The ponies pulled the wagon into the river. It's stuck. It's a matter of time before the current washes everything we have collected and our whole expedition to a
Well,
Where is this crash?
They point behind them.
Well, you're in luck because we are experts at pulling things out of the river. Let's go.
It's true. We are so good at it.
All right, lead the way. Are the trolls still here nearby?
No, we ran them off.
How?
There's no time. Please, come.
Can I sense motive?
Yeah.
I'm a little suspicious of gnomes right now, TBH.
That's fair.
It's a trap.
Tartuk didn't die. Tartuk had many brothers. This is Barbuk.
Well, he did have a lot of people that cared about him.
Yeah. Okay. The gnome is genuinely in distress and doesn't like. They're withholding information, but they're not doing it to be like sneaky. They're doing it because time is a factor.
Yeah. Which is understandable. All right, I'm following him. Lead on. Hurry.
And
Right.
anybody speak gnome?
I have
Actually,
shared
I-
languages.
No, I'm kidding.
So
Actually,
you begin hearing some like probably like 6 or 7 syllable minimum colorful words as you turn out of the tree line and you get to the Skunk River, and there's just the sound of what must be cursing in his language begins echoing, and there's a little wagon. It sits stuck in the middle of the skunk. There are a couple of ponies hitched to the wagon that are floundering in the mud and the water, about half an inch away from just full-blown panic. There's a couple more wagons that sit safely on the far bank, like on the, I shouldn't say southern, because I know, well, that's close enough to southern. Over yonder, on the witch's side of the river, there are in total probably about 10 gnomes. They've got ropes like tied to the wagon that's stuck, and they're trying to pull it out, but it's not really getting anywhere. And the one making the cursing, his hair is dyed black. You can, like, gnomes with black hair are as uncommon as, like, a human with pink hair, IRL. And he turns and he sees you and just, well, yes, indeed. You're the lord of these lands, yes? Pointing at Kato.
oh, I'm becoming popular. This is great. I'm glad you acknowledged that.
Of
What's
course.
going on?
May I offer you some humble advice?
Free advice.
Free of charge, this once.
Are you sure?
I think it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
Bridges,
Listening.
bridges, 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 bridges.
Yes, we're working on it.
Now, please have your goons, points at, like, Kalyra, points then over to Stania.
Kalyra raises her eyebrow.
They look strong enough to pull us out of the river, yes?
I don't know, with an attitude like that, I'm not sure if we want to help you.
Blinks twice.
Come on.
All right. Let's get these guys back on land.
And there's...
I'm gonna try something here. I've never done this before.
This always goes well.
Yep.
Are you
I
detecting
think
Nexus
I can
again?
summon something to help us.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Oh
Surfer.
wow.
A monster?
Where was this
Wow.
when I was in the water?
Didn't have it yet.
Level 5, Esker.
Yeah, level 5. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, summon monster 2. That could get you some. There's a whole big, enormous table. To the table! Away!
Just something that's strong,
There's definitely, there's
not too spooky.
Like an elephant.
a giant frog, a horse, octopus, a wolf, a squid.
Is a giant
Squid seems good here.
Squid will do it.
Yeah, Squid's perfect.
I kind of like the frog because they're gonna be better in the water. The
Sure.
giant frog gonna be.
Sure.
What kind of
Alright.
Can we eat it
what
after?
kind of muscles are we looking at on this frog?
About a strength score of 15. The strongest thing you could summon would be... summon monster 2 could also get you a small water elemental.
A small water elemental?
Or the elemental of your flavor. Cayenne pepper elemental. Yes, Achilles.
Ooh.
That was a bad joke.
I'll have to remember that one.
Horses are on that list as well. I think the horse might be the strongest thing, off the top of my head. As I like,
How far in the river are we talking?
they're probably like smack in the middle. It's hard to like
With you.
determine how even the wagon got out there.
I caught that, by the way, Esker.
I didn't catch that at all.
Stuck
Wait,
in the middle with you.
with you.
Clouds to the left.
Okay.
I don't get it.
How about how many feet? Like how we have 50 foot ropes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably about 30 feet ish to the center here.
Okay. I'm gonna do the horses then, or rather a horse,
Sure.
because we could tie it onto the thing. The horse could still be on ground, doesn't have to go in the water. Pull it out strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How do we tie? Like, wouldn't someone have to swim out there to tie the rope?
Sure. Kalyra can handle that.
Oh, thanks for volunteering me.
I hear Kato is very dexterous.
I can't swim for shit.
Yeah. He could maybe acrobatics to the center of the wagon if he gets enough.
I was
of a
mostly
running
just
start.
citing the water adventure before.
Yeah.
Achilles, why are you knocking things
I
over?
might be able to jump. I might be able to like acrobatics onto the cart, tie it up, and then jump back. But if I fall in the water, I'm basically dead.
That's a risk I'm willing to
I
take.
can cast stabilize once you basically die.
How does the
We
water
can tie a
look,
rope to your waist.
I mean, I guess I could. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to just do like the acrobatics to the cart, and then you said it's 30 feet away.
Yeah.
It's 30 feet.
That's
dude.
kind of that's
Yeah.
So, DC 35 acrobatics. I guess that depends on how many sixes on the daring do.
Hey, if I
My
roll
favorite is when we're doing really like non-heroic things.
Oh.
Picking
So how violent does the current look?
As
at
violent
this
as it was when you were dealing with the tassel worms. It's basically
Alright,
the
so-
weight of the wagon that has stopped it, and like the mud.
Kalyra takes a big sigh and she takes off her backpack and would taking off my armor take too long?
We should tie a rope to you.
Taking off your armor would time is a factor.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ksenia can hold, so we can tie a rope to Cal. Ksenia can hold the rope. That way, like in case he gets swept down current, she can pull him back.
Sure.
Yeah, I have 2 ropes.
But we have lots of rope.
Uh,
Ropes and chains.
we have how many horses? Right. We have Grom. We have 2 others, and then the one.
We have your magic horse.
My Little Pony.
All right, cool. Tying a rope around Cal, throwing Cal into the river. Got it.
you're not throwing me anyway.
I know,
don't
I'm
even think you could if you wanted to.
Probably not.
One of the horses might be able to throw you.
That would be it. Maybe
Exactly.
your monstrous spirit creature you summoned, but normal horses no.
Pretty neat, isn't it?
Your witch horse.
Her witch horse has big hands. that grabs them.
I honestly have no idea where that thing came from.
She actually summoned a Nucklefy, and we're just not realizing it as the human bit comes up.
All right, we're gonna lose this wagon. Let's go.
Okay, cool. So how are we doing this?
I'm going into the water. I
So
suppose.
Make
Cal is
swim
going to
check.
swim, and Ksenia is going to hold the rope that we've tied around his waist just in case he gets swept away.
Okay. Let me get a strength check from Senia then.
Guidance. Boom. I remember.
Now he does
That's hella important. Yep. So between
it.
the guidance things,
It
is
doesn't actually take effect if he doesn't say boom.
that's the somatic component of guidance.
That's
is
the
boom.
verbal component.
Yeah, duh. But with guidance, it's enough for Senya and Kalyra together to like just barely. Kalyra isn't like swept and slammed into the wagon to swim out to the wagon with a rope.
All right. So I'll tie the rope. I guess I have ropes because we have multiple horses, right?
Yeah.
I'll tie 3 ropes to the wagon and then swim back.
Okay.
I'll take my other end of the rope and tie it to Grom.
I'll let somebody else
Swimming
do
back's
the same
not
for the
good.
other horses.
Yeah, swimming back is
And-
not as good for Kalyra.
Kalyra is not going to make it back. I guess, Artoris, all your problems have just been solved.
That works.
I'm like tied to a rope and I'm holding 3 ropes.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere.
Well,
Let me get a
I
strength
had
check
a
from
rope tied to
Senya.
me too, and then this is what happened.
Let's see how well. Okay, it's close. They're probably at that point. Kalyra veers a little and gets a little too close to the ponies at the front of the wagon, which are like, they are not stuck in the mud, but they are mired in it, and they're borderlining on panicking and bolting with the wagon, which is also stuck. It's an awkward divide by 0. It dawns on probably both the barbarians as they're like, the ponies, that the ponies are basically pulling against you if you're trying to pull the wagon back as it stands right now.
Got to cut those ponies loose.
Cow goes.
They're
Slaughter ponies, I guess.
you kind of cut out there. They're pulling what?
Against you. Like, they will pull the other way. Not on purpose, but because they're panicking and
Oh,
Oh, the
attached
ones
to
that
the
were
wagon.
attached to the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna swim. I'm gonna swim back out.
I'm gonna swim back out too.
Okay.
Oh,
You're holding the rope. You can't swim
you're
back
holding the
out.
rope. What are you doing?
Wait, I
Wait, we
tied
have-
the rope to Grom.
Oh, then
Yeah,
Grom would need to make the strength. Whatever. I'm sure the strength score comes out basically the same.
But you just need to watch over the horses. What if the horses?
I swam my butt off though. I was just good swim this time.
No, it was indeed. Okay.
But what if I need to calm the ponies down?
I can calm the ponies down. What are you
Okay.
talking?
We're just cutting them loose so they can get off the stupid wagon and we can pull the
Oh,
wagon.
okay.
I was just going.
These are the gnome ponies, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last bit.
It's the gnomes ponies. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would assume.
I was
Are
just
they
going.
are they in the water or are they like on the other side of the shore?
They're in the water. They are attached to the front of the wagon as if they had pulled the wagon into the water and then everybody got stuck.
Yeah. So we're trying to cut them free.
Oh, I was just going to cut them in half. That's what I do with most things.
You can just remove the
I
whatever
don't
it is
know.
they're-
It seems treacherous. And
If-
my sword is awful big. All right, so Cal goes down and she tries to calm the ponies.
Okay, handle animal check. As that's happening, the dark-haired gnome turns towards Kato. And what is your...
Why do you have handle animal?
It's a class skill for
About it.
barbarians.
It's another one of my steps in my multi-step plan.
Yeah, see, there's
There's something so going on here.
something brewing here.
What is your thug doing with my draft? Oh, wait, that actually worked.
I wasn't going to cut its head off for real. Just having a little bit of fun. I'm out here soaking wet in armor.
He's-
Give me a break.
My thug, as you put it, is saving your. What did you call them?
They're ponies. They're fine,
No,
excellent draft stock.
Draft stock. Yeah. He's saving them so you can show a little gratitude.
Maybe I should. Yes, indeed. And yeah, fair enough. Give me one more swim check. Or a ride check? I don't know. You can't really.
Oof.
Oh, bye, Kalyra.
Hero points are a
Still-
thing. Do you use them to
Still-
prevent drowning, or do you use them to kill witches?
Yeah, I guess I will.
But you could bank it and then have it not roll over to next session.
God damn.
Oh, Kalyra. I'll make a couple of strength checks for the ponies. Ponies!
But at least it's not a nat 1, which is significantly worse than.
Well, she's at least like tied to multiple different things at this point, right?
It's rough. It probably
Yeah, I'm tied to multiple things.
it probably takes a little while. Go power horsey. That's Grom's new name. Yeah, it takes a little while. You imagine the current would have probably done something bad to the ponies at this point had you not got them, but eventually Kalyra and both of the ponies do make it back to the shore.
On which side?
On which side would you like to lead them, Kalyra?
Well, I would probably the side where the gnomes are.
That makes sense. Yeah. I was gonna be like, does Kalyra want to pull rank? Is this
I take the ponies to the other side.
I'm starting a new kingdom with my ponies, and just rides off. Okay, so then the only thing that remains is the wagon at this point.
It's got I got the ropes
Got
that I
three
tied to
horses
the wagon.
tied to it, yeah.
We have it tied to 3 or 4 horses.
3 horses.
However many.
Well,
Isn't there 4? Because there's Grom, and then we have the 2 that we got from the bandits, and then the one I summoned, right?
oh,
I
yeah.
believe. Yeah.
It's the 4.
So
4
then,
horses.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Oh, good. What a wonderful
4
kingdom.
horses to pull a gnome-sized wagon.
Arcturus is probably riding old
Should be
peasants.
fine. And we can all grab the ropes too and help pull.
That is my
if we
favorite
need
one.
to.
Indeed. So then, in that case, who wants to be there's like a, I guess on flavor, who is the anchor and who is supporting the anchor, I guess, as far as the pulling goes.
I'm just pointing and barking the
Probably Grom.
I use guidance.
Is
I
it
did
anchor?
everything I can.
Okay, so Grom is the important one. If you want to pull, make a
Can you
strength check.
guide Grom? Does that work?
Yeah, totally.
I think you can, yeah.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. And then if I could get strength checks from any of the characters who want to help.
Yeah, I'll get in there.
Not that they super need to. We got pretty close. We just need...
I'm rolling 4.
Ooh.
So Ionia and...
Say it.
It's Ionia and Kato,
I've been
of all
working
things.
out.
Grom
Like I
starts
said, it's been a
pulling,
boring winter.
Yeah, I'm at a -2 on the.
but it's...
Yeah, I had to swim like 3 times across the water. Man.
Kalyra fails it, Senia fails it, but Kato succeeds, and Ionia succeeds by a kilometer, and it's... which I want, actually... 22...
Tara, we need to start raging
Let's let...
when we do any straight shots so we stop embarrassing ourselves.
You both would have succeeded had you raged, yeah. I guess I'm gonna let Ionia flavor it, because I want to be like, some strong ancestor does strong things with you, and strong happens and good. But we know Kato is barking like orders, and that's how the pull happens. But the check is successful.
Well, geez, I'd say something like I don't know. We've been blessed by my mighty ancestor Krinver, who I've mentioned a couple times now. He has lent us his strength, and I'm giving this speech, I guess, as we're pulling.
And Krentar says, "Yeet," and it was yoked forth. And it was, and that's what we're gonna call it for this one. Thank y'all for watching. I really want to put a picture of this NPC in chat or in OBS, because this NPC was, to my knowledge, and you would have met him all by now, the only NPC who becomes a party member level companion. Jod and Keston existed, but you couldn't have them on the squad. But the gnome we're about to meet is. But he looks so different in TTRPG Kingmaker that it's like almost like cognitive dissonance is the word I'll use. But thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more of the things that kings are makered of. We'll see you in 2 seconds or next time. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.